And so that's why I'm not allowed in that cheese shop anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's a funny story. I'm glad nobody heard it.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
Hello,
It's just
everybody.
bad.
It looks like that we're live. First of all, sorry for the delay. It was a little bit messy. Team Skeptic apparently fucked up the time zones. He added the 7 hours or whatever the time difference is. Instead of subtracting it, he thought it's in, well, 14 hours or so. But he found a solution. And we're going to do the live debunking of Mr. Thrive and Survive anyway, but with a different set of guests, namely with Micro. Hello Micro. And with Hellsoy.
I'm sorry, guys, already. I didn't mean to screw this up.
Well, it wasn't your fault. If anybody who is to blame, then it's Team Skeptic.
No, if anyone is to blame, it's Mr. Thrive and Survive, because he's the whole reason why we're doing this.
Right, that's also correct.
I'm just used to blame Hellsoy, so...
Yeah. Okay, then it's your fault. Fuck it.
Oh, great. So we can wait. We can blame everything on you.
God, man, I thought I'd escaped that can of worms.
Yeah. So Bohobo in the chat. I completely agree. We should start communicating in UTC in general. I usually do this, but everybody needs to convert it back to the local times, and if they fuck up, then that's not my problem. So let's go right ahead. I've sent Hellsoy the link. He's gonna do the playing of the video because he actually has the ability to plug his desktop audio through his system now. So let me share.
LGBT bathroom. Team Skeptic has customers right now, so he won't be able to join us. At least not for like another 4 hours, I think he said.
Yeah, he said 4 hours.
Yeah.
Ah, there he is. Hi, Team Skeptic. Shit happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, my idea is let's do the first debunking of this video now, and then with Team Skeptic, let's do the second video, because Mr. Thrive and Survive has already uploaded another one, which I haven't seen yet. So when we do this live later, or maybe at another time, it will be the first time I get to see it, which would kind of be hilarious. Okay, Hellsoy, let's go.
Okay.
And so do we just shout, like, is this just like side strike rules? Do we just shout drink or stop?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Whenever we see something stupid, we are gonna stop.
Well, you sure about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Because then
yeah, I understand your point. Maybe we should add a minimum timer for like running at least 30 seconds at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just go ahead, I guess.
Stop! I'm already seeing something stupid.
Oh God, this is gonna take forever.
No, I'm the fun joke.
Mr. Thrive and Survive, May 30th, 2018. I want to start this video by thanking everybody who sent well wishes, thoughts, and prayers regarding the heart attack that I had. I really appreciate everybody's comments. I'm sorry I haven't had time to get back and acknowledge them, but thanks from the heart of my soul for all your well wishes. We're going to look at the impossible eclipse of January 31st, 2018, which decimates NASA's theory. Now we have the sun rising in the east. This is early morning hours now.
Apparently.
The moon's been up all night, and then it comes into the shadow of the earth, supposedly. And the moon is setting down here. Now I need to point out something that's going to become relevant to those who want to think this through. The moon is actually advancing down faster than the sun is moving up. This is going to become important when somebody who has cognitive dissonance tries to explain this shadow anomaly.
Stop.
And just keep that in mind.
I don't think that anybody is challenging that the moon is indeed moving a little faster. It's because of its prograde orbit. You can continue. Or do you guys have to add something to add?
Nope.
The moon is racing faster down than the sun is rising by about 5 degrees an hour. Is that right? 5 degrees a night. I can't remember what it is, but it's definitely going faster than the from our vantage point. So we have this is my crew drawing, of course, of the Earth, the sun about to rise this way and going down. Now, do you think the shadow would be on the bottom?
No.
Do you really
Stop.
believe that?
Stop. As somebody in the side chat has already pointed out, the scale is completely fucked, obviously. What I would suggest is, you guys know I have this neat little math program called GeoGebra, which I sometimes use, and I think this is perfect to simulate this. So I guess we should do this. What do you think?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Also, I will point out that he has drawn the Earth as
Yeah.
looking very round.
Well, I mean, as far as I remember, he actually does this again, but the scale is still fucked, so we can either do it now or do it later.
I also have the ability to do this in a 2-scale model, a simulation. If you want me to fire that up in the background.
Well, we can do so, but let's do it first here. And if I should run any problems because my entire thing is 2-dimensional, we can use yours. So, standard stuff. First of all, model the sun.
Well, I don't think anyone can actually see you since you're sharing tiles.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
screen share yourself.
Have to get used to Google Hangouts again. So, diameter of the sun.
Big.
Um, 700,000 kilometers.
Yeah,
So
that was pretty close.
700,000. So this scale will be in kilometers. Oh, this entire thing will be in kilometers.
What else would it be in?
Well,
Centimeters?
No, in megameters, for example.
Oh. I thought you were suggesting that it might have been in some other system of units.
Oh, I don't
we don't-
remember.
then
I
we
don't
don't
remember
talk-
another system of units that makes sense. So
While I remember it, Geo, I'm not sure if you've started doing it yet or not, but it irks me every time I see you scroll. You know that Alt is a modifier for like hyper scrolling, right?
yeah.
Hyper scrolling.
Yeah, because I just keep seeing you not doing that, and it takes fucking forever to scroll in and out.
Yeah, it's because on my old computer mouse, the button to enable or disable this was on the underside for some reason.
Okay.
That's a very inconvenient place to put it.
Well, I used it very rarely, so whatever. Okay, so let's place the Earth at 150 million.
About 8 light minutes.
0. So the Earth is all the way over there.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hello, Earth.
There we go. Yeah, that's indeed very convenient. This will take a lot of zooming, by the way. There's no way to avoid it. Scale is just interesting. So radius 6370. Oh, well, 6371, that'll do. Here's our Earth. And now, finally, first of all, we need 2 positions on the Earth. Namely, we need the terminator line.
Well, we also need the moon.
Yeah, we'll get that one later. So, I think here's our terminator line.
Will it be back?
Maybe. And we'll do the same for the sun. Because before we insert the moon into this, we will start... Ooh, what the heck?
Whee!
We will start making the shadow first of the sun on the Earth, actually. So...
The shadow of the sun. You want to
the shadow of the sunlight. Yeah. So...
that still doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but okay. I understand what you mean, but...
Yeah, so we need the tension function. Do we? No, we don't. What do we need? This one. Ray. Okay, so... from D to B, and from D to C, and from E to B, and from E to C. Those should be the 4 lines that represent the shadow. And we need the umbra and the penumbra, as usual. Oh, that looks beautiful. Okay.
I'm just making zooming noises to
Yeah.
pass the
So
time.
let's draw in the moon.
Really shouldn't throw the moon. It's pretty big. You would hit someone.
Yeah. So first of all, we're gonna draw a circle around the Earth to simulate the orbit of the moon. So the orbit of the moon was at what, 380,000 kilometers?
Something like that.
Where is it? Perigee, apogee. Semi-major axis is 385,000. So 385,000. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if you zoom
But
out,
that really says something about just how far away the moon actually is.
and how fucking small Earth is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the moon will move. Now we have to define on which pole of the Earth we're actually looking. We're looking
North.
on. Yeah, we're gonna define this the way that we're looking on the North Pole. That means that the moon will move from this side of the shadow to this side over there, right? From bottom to top, right?
I'm not sure. I don't actually know off the top of my head way the moon spins around the Earth.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can use Celestia to confirm this. So here's the North Pole.
Yep.
Zoom out. That's the moon. Yep,
Yep, that looks correct.
that'll do it. Okay, so and we have to find out where on the Earth the observers actually will be. So let's continue with the video, and then we'll find out where the actual observer was.
Well, if he says it.
I think he does.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Makes sense to you? Well, that's what NASA says. So that, I mean, that's what I would think anyway. Is this logical or illogical? What if I did this? How about that? Would that be logical? Would it?
No.
I don't
Because-
know. Let's find out what actually happened on this day. Pick one. Which way is the way it should be?
Neither.
And I'm going to have
because it's
several
not
links
scale.
below in the comment section.
All right,
Or
stop.
rather in the
Okay. Oh, no, actually continue. He will say something important in a few seconds.
description section so that you can see all these different videos. I don't know who the original people are. They're so embedded, so many different people doing so many other videos, and not always are they given credit for who it is. So I'm just going to give you the videos that I saw. You can go and find out who the original people are. It would take me all day, literally, I think, to track down all these people. So
Yeah,
here is
might be
one
so
person. We're going to
for
see
me.
several different, or at least two different ones here. You'll notice that a lot of this is red, but here's the darkest part up here. This person, unfortunately, wherever this person was, the moon was going to set before the shadow could encroach all the way on the moon. But anyway, let's put this into motion. You can see by the blue in the sky that the sun is rising on the other side. I'm not saying it has risen.
Stop. So he's saying it's a few minutes before sunrise, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
But it is definitely close enough to the horizon to where it should be seen. Here it is a little bit later on, farther down. You can see the darkness of the shadows actually a little bit farther down on the moon. This is going to become actually a lot more clear in the next video because it's higher up and there's a longer time for the shadow to encroach. And remember, the moon is running away from the sun slightly faster.
Jesus Christ. Was
Sun
this
is
filmed by
rising.
an epileptic?
And this is like a top left. You would expect bottom right, but it's top left is where the shadow is. So let me go ahead and switch here to another one. All right, here's another vantage point. Wait till you see this one, guys. Same thing, facing west in the early morning. You're going to see it'll brighten up here in a little bit. Notice the shadow is encroaching on the top.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop. Facing west. So again, we are in the early morning, right? And judging by the background, it's much earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Continue.
Also by the shadow.
Yeah, that as well.
And let me forward it up a little bit. Check it out. Oh, I'm going to show you something here. Look how big the diameter of the Earth must appear from the moon. Look at that shadow.
Yes, it's almost as
Isn't
if
that
the Earth
incredible?
is very, very big.
People are going to say, well, Rich, the Earth is 4 times bigger. That's what you would expect.
Yes.
Really? Then why do we get these little teeny Earth pictures in the sky
Stop!
from Apollo?
Stop!
Holy shit!
Different focal lengths are a thing, you know?
Not just
No.
a different
Are a
focal
thing.
length, also different zoom.
Yeah, different zoom.
Oh.
I mean, how is he honestly making this claim? He should know this. Like seriously, what the fuck?
Then do you guys own a gun? I kind of feel like splattering my.
The only thing I have is a pellet rifle, and you might be able to shoot a mouse with it, but nothing that's bigger than a cat, I guess.
Wait a minute. That's very specific.
I said I guess. I haven't shot anything with it.
It's still very specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And-
Safety case correct. Zooming in gives you a longer focal length.
It's almost as if, either he doesn't understand it or he's purposely letting it fly by so he can, lie about something.
I
But,
think it's the latter one in this case.
I have no idea. I just know that he's stupid either way.
All right, let's
Yeah.
continue.
Can you reconcile that one?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we
Little
can.
pictures up
Yeah, we just did.
in the sky. Would they cause this kind of shadow on the moon?
Yes.
think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm pausing it. What the actual fuck?
Well, that's pretty much 4 times the diameter, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh my.
Also, can you maybe cut this out and measure it with a pixel ruler or something?
I could. Yes.
But wait, are we seeing the whole thing?
Well, it's good enough. I mean, we can extrapolate the entire.
Hold on,
diameter.
come here. I'll take a picture and do that.
Yeah.
Just continue. I will.
Okay. Continuing.
See, it's setting in the shadows on the top. And if you'll notice, the shadow is actually moving farther down here. Don't believe the
Yes,
scope.
that's to be expected. All right, I
Yeah.
think we can now draw in the moon in our drawing. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Okay. So, can you see me? Yeah. So again, we were at sunrise, short before sunrise. Since this is the North Pole, sunrise is over here, right? Since the entire thing is moving in this direction, counterclockwise. Correct?
I have no idea. I'm not looking at it. I'm doing it.
I think you're correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the position of sunrise. Here's the position of sunset. Okay, these guys were a few minutes, maybe half an hour or so before sunset. So sunrise, sorry. So they're maybe around here, right? Approximately. They can't see the sun yet. They're definitely on the shadow side of the planet, on the night side of the planet.
Yeah.
So they must be somewhere around here. The exact distance is pretty much irrelevant at this point. That means that the core of the shadow of the Earth is over their horizon. Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Now, if they wait a few minutes until they are in sunlight, they will have changed their position to about here. What the heck? Not there. There. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the core, the shadow of the Earth is no longer visible from their position. Also correct?
Yep.
Good. That means that if they were to directly look at, or if they had the ability to see the shadow of the Earth, it would go below the horizon as well.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the moon is. I'm just gonna draw the moon in here. The moon is here. It hasn't entered Earth's shadow yet. It's currently doing this. It's moving upwards. Actually, I think I can draw a line around this. So, radius of the moon. (1,700 kilometers. Oh, it's 740 kilometers. Did it work? Yes, that worked. Okay. The moon is moving in that direction, from bottom in my frame to upwards. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? Did you see that? That was strange.
Nope, I'm still not looking because I'm still doing the other thing.
Just gonna re-enable the scrolling. For some reason, it's fucking with GeoGebra. Okay. Now, that means that when somebody's on a line, when the moon is directly in the center of the shadow, he will. No, wait. It must be. Well, that's radius, so around here. He will be able to see the moon that has just exited Earth's shadow, the partial shadow, and he's able to see the sun at the same time. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, which direction are we expecting the moon to enter? Like, from where's the shadow gonna come? It's not going to come from the horizon side, right?
No.
It's gonna come from the other side. The moon is going to be darkened on that side first, which is not on the side of the horizon.
It's kind of like running into the shadow.
Yes, it's running into the shadow. Correct. And that combined with the rotation of the planet from every observer will lead to the fact that the moon is going to get closer to the horizon, but at the same time, it will be darkened from the other side.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I think we can continue.
Actually, I have now done the thing that you wanted me to do.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'm just gonna screen share you.
Yeah, let me just screen share myself. Okay. So I put some rings around it just to make it easy. If we look at this, the moon. No, it's not perfect, but it's as perfect as it needs to be.
Yeah, well, it's close enough. The video is blurry anyway, so.
Yeah. This is 317
317
pixels.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
stop.
Notice how I'm not getting weird half pixels?
Oh yeah, that's weird. It's as if pixel is the fundamental unit you can't go.
The other one is 1170.
1170 divided by 3. What was it? 17?
Yeah, 370.
Oh, holy shit! 3.69. Do you want to know what the actual ratio is?
Yes.
Okay, so Earth's diameter. Actually, let me share my screen again.
And I will stop sharing mine because there's no point in me sharing this anymore.
Okay. This would be fucking hilarious if it actually proves the size.
Yeah. So this is the ratio that he worked out. Now let's do the calculation for the actual value. So the Earth's diameter is 6370 or 6371 divided by the 1740. Is 1740? Yeah, 1737, but I guess close enough. 3.66. 3.67.
Great. So my super shitty image with the super amount of blur and me approximating the circles just
there's an error of 1% there. That's hilarious.
Hey, I'll do a simple for Mr. Thrive and Survive for actually, drawing a correctly scaled model of the Earth compared to the moon.
There's a certain.
I need to celebrate this with
the name of Sean Hufford.
Oh my god! Like, hey, congratulations! You just demonstrated that the numbers add up to reality.
Yeah, I mean 1% error. That's fucking perfect.
Yeah. Oh, you can't make this shit up.
Yeah. Okay, so let's wait for Sean and then continue.
Oh god, Sean's gonna have a field day. Yeah, Barry on, that's correct. The only thing Mr. Thrive and Survive, or and many of the other nicknames he gets, the only thing he gets correct are the ones that actually corresponds to real numbers provided by who.
Oh, there's something regarding the chat I have to do. Nene or Nana asked, I want to hear Gio say, "You capitalist pigs will pay for your crimes." So, your capitalist pigs will pay for your crimes.
Okay.
That needed to be done. Well, no, I'm not gonna use English as my language in my operating system, because why the fuck should I?
Yeah, we all know you're pretty much all European languages are superior anyway. It's just that Americans have all the nukes, so we kind of have to obey by their rules.
I use English.
So sorry to break it to you, but English is a European language named after a country called England, which sort of still is in Europe.
What fucking brain melt, man!
That's so woke. That's so woke.
No, I'm not going to rap. I know I'm too white to do this.
I probably could. I've been spending some time in the sun.
Well, considering how white my skin is, I probably run the chance of getting a moonburn.
But the moon doesn't heat things.
Oh yeah, it cool.
Yeah, and yet somehow we're able to see it.
Okay, so Sean is online in Google Hangouts apparently, and he asked for an invite. So I think we're just gonna continue until he joins. So switching back to you, Hellsoy.
Okay. Just go.
Yeah. It looks like a nature documentary.
I'm not hearing anything.
I'm just seeing the moon go up and go down.
Definitely less than halfway.
Oh.
There we go.
Correct.
He wasn't actually speaking.
Oh, okay.
Now we're at halfway. The last frame you see.
So yeah, stop.
The shadows encroach.
You see exactly what is expected. The sky's getting brighter, and the moon is getting the shadow is moving towards the moon from the side which is not at the horizon.
Yeah.
Yes.
The side that the sun isn't on.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
It's almost as if that's how shadows work.
Yeah, and geometry and physics
And perspective.
yeah. Oh shit! You said the P word.
Yeah, but I'm
Not
using
the P word.
not the P word.
Demonetized.
Wait, P monetized?
Wait, stop. As if I monetized my stuff. I don't have enough subscribers, and I probably never will monetize it.
Well, you said the P word, so now you're definitely not getting monetized anyway.
Well, there was P words, I guess.
No. There's only one P word.
It's not penis, isn't it? Hey,
No,
Sean.
but that's fine.
But that is a P word because that's where the P comes out.
Oh, wow. We just devolved to fucking 4-year-olds.
You have to forgive me. I'm still waiting for the PC to boot up.
So Sean, Mariah is here as well.
Yellow.
Hey, Mariah.
Hey.
Well,
What's up?
I caught part of it while I was in the car on the drive home.
Did you catch
Yeah,
the
but
part where MrThriveAndSurvive proved the size of the Earth?
Yeah, I actually watched his video earlier this morning,
Nice.
and oh my god.
Yeah, like seriously, we just plugged the numbers into a calculator, and he had an error of about 1%.
And that was me using a shitty image and just like eyeballing the circles.
Balling. So yeah, and we just showed that he doesn't understand how shadows work.
Well, I was just wanting to really hammer the point home that he says that he thinks that the moon travels 5 degrees per hour to the west. Wrong, buddy boy. It travels 13 degrees per hour or per 24 hours to the east.
Yeah, and that's half a degree, I think, per hour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about half a degree per hour to the east.
Yeah.
But since the Earth rotates at 15 degrees per hour to the west, or also to the east, I should say, yeah, it makes for some really funky looking math until you actually model it out and examine what it's actually all doing. But trying to picture it in your head,
Math.
It is a little bit counterintuitive in the beginning, but you have to just do a scale model, and then you'll see why that's the case.
right? I mean, it's all about understanding how to do a model either in your head or do it physically or do it on a computer.
Well,
And thankfully, I
think Sean that he's gonna bring up a model very soon in the video.
Yeah, and I'm
Let's
gonna laugh my
compare
ass off when I see it.
Yeah, let's compare that to ours.
Little short thingy though. I might have to jump in and out sometimes.
It's fine,
Okay.
Mariah.
All right.
Yeah, the computer's just about done booting up.
How long did your computer take to boot?
Oh, this computer takes forever to boot up. Windows 10, gotta love it.
You gotta give it an SSD.
Nah.
Oh yeah, trust me, it's worth it. Like every shitty
SSD
machine.
is- Yeah, it's the single
no matter
best
how old it
operating
is,
machine you can get.
Yeah, no matter how old it is, for like $80 or so, 128 gigabyte SSD will accelerate your computer boot time and pretty much everything by
Yeah,
maybe
but
you
the
run
down-
for another 5 years.
The downside to an SSD is a limited write. The amount of times you can write to it.
Sean, that's
Yeah.
pretty much negligible. I've had
It's a lifetime of about 10 years of active
More-
24/7 year. use,
Sean,
so-
Sean, I've had my SSD that I'm running on since 2012, and it still has 99% health. So
because you don't do anything good on your computer.
what the heck? Do you even know my computer?
So the SSD I
Intimately.
primarily use as a buffer for all my work shit, so like Photoshop, After Effects, and that kind of stuff. After 2.5 years of use, it's at 97% health.
Yeah, well, still.
Yeah.
So-
So Sean, if you want to upgrade your machine for pretty cheap, actually, the SSD is the way to go.
That
don't like
said,
my
I have
disk.
had an SSD die on me, and that's kind of a shitty thing.
see-
You
see,
can't get anything back.
I don't like my disk to be solid all the time. I want it to be, hard, but I don't want it to last more than 4 hours.
You want to be able to actually
Contact
also-
your local doctor. Yeah.
You want to be able to pee.
Yes. So let me join on this. I'm going to drop out of here. Be back in a
Does
second,
that
guys.
technically qualify as a callback?
So Sean is gone.
He's connecting on his PC.
I know.
There he is.
And I'm back.
Oh, that's much better. Okay, so let's just continue, I guess.
Yes.
Watching from the top down. How was that possible?
Well, we just explained it.
With the sun brighten the sky up.
Actually, stop. I want to find out if I can model or if I can show this in Celestia. Should be working, wouldn't it?
So is he actually making the same mistake that who was it? Part-time vegan or Stiggy that made about not understanding field rotation?
No.
Kind of.
He's pretty much, well, yeah, sort of.
Kind of is.
He's claiming that the shadow of the moon, the shadow of the Earth on the moon is the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know he's trying to say it's coming from the top to the bottom, but it's actually not. It's coming from the east side of the moon to the west side.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
expecting it to come from the part where the Earth is.
But to do that, the moon would have to be orbiting in the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, time. Set the time that was on 31st of January, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah. Thrive and Survive. The generally accepted top of the moon is actually on the right side of the screen when you're looking at it that low to the horizon from the northern hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see. Here's the Earth. There's the moon over there.
That looks pretty much like you would expect.
Let me actually zoom. So I'm looking directly over the Terminator line. How's the zoom functionality again? There we go.
I don't remember what time of day the actual eclipse happened, but
Well, that depends on the way. Wow.
well, UTC. So
Because seconds.
Celestia does UTC.
Which time?
Well, we can look that up.
Yeah.
How is this working? F. Okay. So F.
Let's see.
The heck.
It was at shit. Where's the clock? UTC time. Penumbral eclipse began at 10:51 UTC, and full eclipse began at 12:51 UTC.
10:1. Okay, so 10. Go for 10:30. 31st of January. And that should do it. So I already F. You can connect them and then. Okay, so.
So
let's increase the time. Or let's increase the speed of the time.
So what's this hangout all about?
Seen it?
Yep.
Let me just try to zoom in a little bit more. So now time is going backwards, so don't stop. So this is before the eclipse. And now let's simulate the eclipse.
Well, you look at that.
Yep. So if you turn this.
Yeah, because obviously people don't walk around with their heads tilted.
Right.
Backwards.
Hey, it's almost as if models match reality, or vice versa.
Well, some models.
There's something I have to say. Jeranism, I did not stop the moon. It's just because I'm moving over the surface of the planet.
Stabby.
Yeah, I can't synchronize myself in this program to a position on the planet. Well, I could, but it's annoying, and this one is way better.
Yeah, that's one of the things I don't like about Celestia. Like, you can't actually do that easily.
Well, we can do Stellarium instead if you want.
I've already set it up in Space Engine, but that's a different thing. That's not like the times will be a bit off and stuff like that because it's just a mathematical model that works on approximations. But it's still on January 31st. I can show it. So
well, let me try Stellarium. So we have to find the position of the guy that was somewhere in. Actually. There's a Wikipedia article on that particular lunar eclipse.
Yes, and because it was super special and stuff.
Yeah, and it gives you a nice time. So eclipse at moon set. Let's go for somewhere in America. So Memphis, Tennessee, sounds right?
Why has whoever made this image made it capitalize both the M and the S in moon set?
Fuck, do I know?
That's
okay. So let's set our location. So let's go for Memphis. This one. And for the time, it was the 31st of January at. Oh wait, this is in UTC, so it'll be a little bit annoying.
I love that we have this feel like that it has this field that moves around the world with you?
Oh, no, wait. Since this is new UTC, I have to go 1 day further.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Will it show the eclipse or?
Wait, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with this. I think I have to go. Yeah, obviously we're in the west. It's about moon set, so that should do it. And it's one day earlier. Time zones. Switch off the horizon.
Holy shit! The ground disappeared.
What the heck is this?
I don't know, but it looks funky.
Okay, let's focus on the moon.
Well, will it actually simulate the?
Yeah, I think it will.
I think it does too. Pretty sure I've used it to watch eclipses before.
Yep.
Yeah, it will. Oh, will you look at that? But remember,
So as you can see,
no, but remember, this is made by NASA to fit the round Earth model and stuff.
okay, so again, as we see, it moves from the top, slightly left,
Right.
all the way down. Look for the green coordinate grid. That's actually the azimuthal grid. So when this reaches 0, so this line over here is the horizon. And if we are perfectly on, the line, then we would have the right center of the eclipse. I think it's because I have the atmosphere enabled.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah.
Did it really just model refraction?
Yeah.
I think it did. That's pretty impressive. Oh, wow.
That's neat.
Oh, look, it brings everything up.
Yeah, it does. Weird, isn't it?
It's almost as if that's what happens.
No.
I didn't even know they had that option for refraction.
Yeah, they do. I think it's rather new, actually. Okay, so as you can see, here in Memphis, while the the lunar eclipse was happening, the moon was not completely in the center of the shadow of the planet. So if we actually went to another location which is directly on the line, right? Go, for example, this would be in P1, wouldn't it? So maybe Lima, Peru? That should be pretty close.
Yeah, that should match.
No. You need to go further west.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
where is Lehman? That I thought it was the spell.
Wait a second. So
you're actually on the line of you.
Oh yeah, because Lima, of course, because Lima is a coastal city. So
which is the line I have to go for?
If you want to see more of the eclipse, you need to go further west.
Further west. So I mean, what I want is when
go to U3.
U3. Okay, so that's New Mexico, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's go for Albuquerque, maybe.
That's right.
Oh, wait.
Just say the Bugs Bunny city.
And the meth city.
Fun fact, did you know that the first time that joke was made was in like a World War II propaganda thing where Bugs Bunny goes to Germany and taunts Hitler?
No.
Oh God.
So as you can see, the eclipse is still progressing.
That is the first time that joke was made.
I think that's pretty much the center of the eclipse. It's not perfectly in the center of the planet and the center of the shadow of the planet. So yeah, We're at plus 4 degrees. Let's go for.
And do you know why? Because the moon was on the ascending node.
Ah.
Yeah.
I like how the program takes into account, like it doesn't just say 1 AE on the 1 AU when you're on the Earth. It actually takes into account that that's the center of the Earth or where in the orbit it is exactly.
Yep. It's pretty nice. And good luck debunking it.
I'm not going to.
Well, that was addressed to Mr. TNS.
But it's made by NASA, so therefore it's fake.
Oh well, is it made by NASA? So let's see.
It doesn't matter what it says. It's made by NASA.
So let's see. It was made by a guy called Timothy Reeves and Bogdan Marinov, Paros, Doros.
That is very much NASA names.
Yeah, that's probably an anagram for like NASA
see how
Devil
it
and
says
something.
If you take the first names, it says TBPAR.
Yeah.
If you translate that into Korean and then translate it to Russian and back to English, NASA will be translated into a series of words with that with those initials. So debunked.
Oh, of course.
Not to mention all the hidden 33s in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
well,
so
if the anagram of the first name is part B, of course.
let's continue with the video.
Yes.
So, Helso, your screen share, we can continue.
Yep.
Unreal.
Not so much.
Pretty real.
Now,
Yeah, pretty fine,
people would
actually.
tell you that if you're up in a tower, a really big tower on a high mountain, you're going to see the sunrise earlier because it's a ball, right? Well, how far out is the moon?
Stop,
We should be
stop.
seeing-
Wait a second, stop.
It's going to be one hell of a fucking tower.
I have to screen share something.
I mean, that's technically true. You can do that in the. But
Do you see this object here? Celestia?
Yeah.
yes. What's that?
So it's
Oh, it's a
a
satellite.
artificial satellite. Just wanted to point it out that you can simulate this. Because how high is the probability that, like, in this situation, there will be the satellite going through?
Does it say what satellite it is?
It says Iris.
Isn't that a satellite? No, yeah,
Interface region imaging spectrograph. Oh, it's actually a space telescope. Neat.
yeah, I was going to say like
Yeah.
that.
That would
sounds
make
familiar.
sense with a name like Irish.
Oh,
well.
apparently you
Yeah,
guys
it's a
didn't
part of the
see it,
camera.
so- There it is.
And UI.
Actually, let's go back 1 minute. So there it moved right through the center of the frame. Or through the
Where
frame,
is seeing
actually.
the name exactly?
On the top left.
Ah,
So yeah, how cool is that? Let's go back to Hellsoil.
Okay, continuing.
in the sunrise. How high up is that? Way higher
Very.
than any mountain on Earth. And yet it's got this
No, you
shadow.
don't say.
Hold on.
Stop.
I have drone footage that sees the sun rise before the ground does.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And that was only 1,640 feet for one of them. It was, oh no, they were both at 400 feet and less. So the tower doesn't have to be that high, Mr. Thrive and Survive.
Actually, on the height, on the cruising altitude of airplanes, you get about 3 degrees of horizon drop, 3.2 degrees. That means that in my diagram that I made, you will, if you're in the right position, it will buy you an additional 6 degrees to see the moon.
There was I think wasn't it this eclipse? I think it was. There's a series of videos out on YouTube from people viewing it from a plane. So they increase their time of full penumbral occlusion, or like full on shadow, from I think it was 6 minutes to 9 minutes.
Oh wow, that's cool.
There's like I don't remember the title of any of them specifically, but you can find them, and I believe it was this particular eclipse. There was a special flight where almost all of the passengers on it were there solely to view the eclipse for a longer period of time.
Oh, nice.
Blue Marble wants to join. Blue Marble, I've sent you the invite link via Discord. So if you want to join, you can.
Well,
Okay, let's continue.
yeah.
Continue.
North side, on the top side, I should say. Incredible. The people would ever believe NASA
Hold on.
after this.
Back that up. Did he just accidentally say the north side and then corrected himself to say
Yeah.
the top side?
I'll go back a few seconds here.
I
What
think
is that? Way higher than any mountain on Earth. And yet it's got this shadow supposedly from the Earth on the north side,
Yep.
top side.
So he has
Yeah.
made the same mistake that Stiggy has made, and he doesn't understand
he
field
corrected himself to say the top side. So I think he's aware that north does not equal top.
So now just being dishonest.
Yeah, it's either he doesn't know or he's dishonest. One of the two. I don't know which is worse.
I'm voting dishonest. Especially if he tries to make a model.
Yeah.
What if the
That's a fair
model
point to make.
involves a ball and a paperclip?
No, I'm just saying MrThriveAndSurvive is notorious for making a model that does not match the globe Earth model and then criticizing the results because they don't match the globe Earth.
Yeah. Actually, can you give me a minute? I need to grab something to eat.
Okay.
I just want to say something. Safety actually pointed out something. I'm fairly certain I conflated or confused what I just said about the airplanes with the latest solar eclipse, not lunar eclipse.
Oh, yeah, okay, that would make more sense time-wise.
Yeah.
I thought there was something off.
Yeah, come to think of it, I would have to agree that sounded a bit dumb. But yeah, they exist, and I believe it was the solar eclipse then, the last solar eclipse. But because the numbers I seem to remember, I think are accurate from 6 minutes to 9 minutes of total eclipse.
Yeah, well, I remember that in the Grand Eclipse of 1999 here in Europe, there was a transatlantic Concorde flight, or actually two of them, which managed to stay inside the umbra of the moon for 20 minutes or so.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I fucking hated that eclipse because like we all like in my school we'd all prepared for it and like bought things to see it with, and then on the day it was overcast.
Okay, so let me tell my story about that eclipse. So the eclipse happened on, I think, August 21st or so, 1999. I was 5.5 years old back then. And the umbra of the eclipse, like the core shadow, passed over southern Germany. Actually quite close to where I live, about 150 kilometers south of here, near Augsburg. So my family drove down there, and we had a clear day for pretty much the entire day. And like 10 or 15 minutes before the umbra would pass, the totality zone would pass, there was a fucking thunderstorm. So
I can one up that.
yeah, we went, we seeked shelter in the car, and when the thunderstorm was over, the totality zone was gone. So that's annoying as fuck. Because,
I can actually one up that, Gio.
Oh, you can.
During this last eclipse back in August, we were all down there in Ozone, Tennessee. We had a perfect view of it, and I have relatives all over that area. One of my relatives is a pharmacy tech at Walmart over in Crossville, and they went out to look at the eclipse, and there was one cloud in the sky right in their way.
Oh,
Oh my god.
We had perfectly clear skies except for one little tiny wispy cloud that was just thick enough to make them not see the eclipse. So I felt so
that
bad for
cloud.
them.
If there ever was proof for chemtrails, that's it right there.
No. If there ever was proof that there's no God, there it is.
No, that's proof that God actually exists and is a huge dick.
Yeah, the cloud couldn't have been more than like 2,000 feet wide. It was tiny for a cloud
Well, then why not just walk a few thousand feet?
because they didn't think about it. They're Tennessee. Think about it.
The fact that they weren't scared and throwing things at the sun to make it come back is kind of surprising.
I had to talk my uncle to stop shooting at the moon. You know,
Well, considering that they were in Tennessee, there are probably 20 tornadoes in the next 2,000 feet around them, so
yeah.
probably makes sense to stay where they are. Okay, finally, let's continue, Halsey.
Okay.
Incredible. The people would ever believe NASA after this.
Well, since NASA didn't make that up, you
So
know.
many problems with
No, NASA totally did that.
Yeah.
this is crazy. You know another problem with this? I can't remember the person who did an awesome experiment which verified, as I did science, with the
Wait. Wait. Did he just say I made science? I did science.
I just almost spit the sauerkraut I was eating over my keyboard. That is fucking painful.
Oh my god.
Okay, I don't
Hey guys, I did a science.
I did a science.
I'm gonna have to go back a few seconds and re-listen to that. Sorry.
no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Another problem with this? I can't remember the person who did an awesome experiment which verified, as I did science, with the penumbra that everybody wants to argue against. In
What?
another video.
Stop.
I'll cover
Stop.
that.
It wasn't even. I did a science. I just did science.
I did science.
I did science.
Yeah, that's one thing. And can
All
you
he
play
need-
the last
all
5
he-
seconds again, please?
All he needed was like sparkles around his head and a little ding as he gave a shiny tooth smile.
Science. Like magic science waves emanating from his head.
I'm playing the last 5 seconds again.
The penumbra that everybody wants to argue against in another video. I'll cover that.
Yeah, well,
again.
let's stop. Nobody's arguing against Umbra and Penumbra. That's Flat Earth's job.
Yeah. We're perfectly in agreement with this, and it shows
Ah.
exactly what it's supposed to. So
And they are nobodies, so it still fits that nobody's doing it.
yeah.
Also, because it's hilarious, the cognitive dissonance. But when you have one sphere
stop.
block another sphere,
Irony alert.
That's not really irony, that's projection.
Oh,
Here
by
it
the way,
causes
hi,
a-
Blue Marble. You're muted.
Yes.
I'm sure Blue Marble has done science more than Thrive and Survive, so
I'm pretty sure Thrive and Survive
What is-
has
what?
done negative science.
No, he did science.
How do you do negative science? By eating peer-reviewed papers?
Have you seen flat earthers?
Oh yeah, okay, got it.
S-curve shadow, not a shadow like
God.
this.
Wait, hang on. Okay, I need to rewind here to get the context of that.
Did you just say
S-curve shadow?
S-curve?
Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
In order to get his S-curve shadow, he had to falsely create a new model where he had the camera sitting off center from the light source. In a lunar eclipse, the light source is directly in line with the Earth and the Moon.
Yes, that's what an eclipse is. If you don't have a satellite that's sitting in the L.
But in his
Or in a five
strawman
points.
model, he had the camera offset like 40 degrees, looking at something he was using to shine a light on, and then put something in the path of the light that was like 40 degrees off center.
Fuck's sake.
And of course, you're going to see the curve of the shadow off when you're off center. In line, you are not going to see that, regardless of whatever shapes either item has. The shadow is going to be
Light works.
when the light is directly behind you. The shadow it creates is going to be two-dimensional, regardless of the shape the shadow is falling on. How he tries to not understand that is just dishonesty, especially when he gave his little demonstration on how he did it, and it's like, oh my god, dude, you're a fucking retard.
That's
I
an
don't-
insult to retards.
And fucking.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing. Or you got more?
No, I was just looking at the chat, and somebody just asked to invite me to the live chat.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I'll grab the link you didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't see that link, Bo. Sorry. Carry on.
Another sphere, it causes an S-curve shadow, not a shadow like this. That's for another video. Just things I want to point
Wait,
out.
stop,
All the
stop.
problems.
That's for another video. So I'm already calling this. I will have another one of these hangouts when this video will hit YouTube.
You're assuming it actually will, and he doesn't forget about it.
Maybe.
I just want to point out we've used or spent about 15 or so minutes on the last 50 seconds of the video. So
That's because the derp is strong in this part.
oh god. Okay, I'm continuing.
With this eclipse. Now let's go into some more footage.
That's not
Stop.
Okay, here we
That's
Scaling.
not footage.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it might not be scaled, but it's still like I don't think I have a feeling that the image, the context you really got that image from, it wasn't supposed to be scaled. It was just supposed to be like this is what happens.
It's a demonstration of the alignment, but it's not to scale.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. But I'm pretty sure he will say something that will require the correct scaling, though.
Yes.
Oh, this is going places.
Yeah. Up his own ass.
You have a diagram, what it should be, according to their stupid model. You know, it just dawned on me that the darker shadow is the one they call the umbra, but that's the one that produces red. And yet it produces red all through the middle, too. Craziness.
No.
No, stop. Directly behind the Earth, there's no way you're gonna see red light. It's only in the outer regions of the umbra because the angle by which the red light is actually bent is very small.
I'm gonna disagree with that on principle because it is actually a fact that if you have a round thing, then the shadow, the middle of the shadow there's a bit of light there.
But only
No, but not directly behind the Earth, like over the surface of the planet.
And micro, that's only at a specific focal point.
Yes, I know, but it's gonna be there somewhere.
Right, it is there, but it's at a specific distance.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be on the moon.
Sly wants a link, Sly gets a link.
Oh, okay. I'm continuing.
Yeah.
People will swallow it. Wait till you see what gets swallowed here.
Oh, kinky.
Wait, I've seen this footage before.
This is New Mexico.
Yes, we can read.
Here it comes. There's the moon. Notice
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for pointing it out. We wouldn't be able to.
I just modeled it in Albuquerque. How far are the two locations apart?
Not far.
No, not a whole lot.
Can we check it?
I mean,
Any bets?
New Mexico isn't that big.
And Santa Fe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So by car, it's 64 miles. Why the fuck is my Google Maps in miles?
That's because you're choosing two locations in the US.
Yes, so what? All the entire GUI is in German. Whatever, let's say 100 kilometers.
Yeah.
So what's valid for this is valid for Albuquerque
Yeah.
as well to a very close degree.
Yes.
And we have a slide.
You guys suck.
What?
You guys
No.
suck. I was right in the middle of making this damn video, and here you guys are tearing it apart.
Oh,
Sly, you do it in a much more poetic way.
Okay,
Yeah,
Sly, so
you guys, I got models built. I got stuff on what do you call it? All this shit. I mean, the one you got up right now, hell, I traced that out on Google Earth like a year ago. I don't remember who brought it up, but somebody brought this one up. I did that one like a year ago. All y'all suck.
Sly, we love you, man.
Sly and well, we're told.
Yeah. You want to know where that picture was taken from?
Santa Fe.
Where?
It literally said on the screen.
Yeah, look. Yeah, but no, but I mean, I even figured out where it was.
Oh,
Hold on a second. Look.
That's west. That must be east of Santa Fe, isn't it?
Sly,
So probably-
It's just northeast of Santa Fe.
Let me guess. Italia mountain range
Right
behind
here.
Memorial State Park.
could you
Right here.
share slide?
Yep.
To everyone.
On my way.
There we go.
It was taken from right here.
Oh,
That looks nice.
And then here's Los Alamos over here. Wait, where's that? all the way across this damn valley. There it is. There's Los Alamos right there. Man, I had this all traced out like a year ago, and I was like, oh, man, I got this. I'm going to make this video, and then here you are, fucker.
Well, make it anyway, dude. You're like I said, you're more poetic than us.
Yeah, and if it's worth debunking, it's worth debunking twice.
I know. And I was in the middle of rendering this out. This is the moon and why the shadow goes in the direction it does and all this other stuff. Jeez, you guys are fucking killing me, man.
Remember, Sly, when you called me a blunt knife?
Yes.
Yeah. There we are.
Bastard.
Wait, did you also do the thing we did and measuring the size of the circle on the shadow on the moon and the blue circle things he shows at the beginning matches?
Oh, you're talking about the
Yeah.
size comparison, the size complaint?
Sly, you have to see this. This is too brilliant. Micro, I'm sharing you.
Oh, yeah,
Go
I'll
for it.
find it again.
So he was showing a screen where he overlaid the Earth, or what he thought would be the size of the Earth, over the eclipse.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And we measured the size of the two circles using a pixel ruler.
Right.
And the ratio he came up with was 3.6. Wait, 3.69. The actual value is 3.67. So he has an error of less than 1%.
No, actually, what I was going to start using in that, because his whole complaint is not necessarily the size of the shadow, but the size of the Earth in the moon shots. And what do you call it? I was going to just use a piece out of Skiba's video, because Skiba already debunked all that. And what do you call it? Yeah, I mean, Rob Skiba literally, did a somewhat scale thing way back when we were talking about the Discover moon transit from the Earth. And he laid it out. He put out a baseball and one of those cheap little store kickballs or whatever, and he laid them out in the hallway, and it worked out exactly the way it was supposed to and stuff like that. And then when he got closer to the ball, or to the baseball, meaning the moon in this case, it what do you call it? It showed the Earth still being quite small in the picture.
Oh, I have to address something in the chat. I was corrected on the Concorde flight. In the 1970s, a Concorde followed the path of totality for 71 minutes.
Holy.
That's moving.
How fast was this thing?
Yo, likes
Mach
to keep
2.3 or something?
Cruising speed, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Blue? Sorry for the bad language.
At wasn't it close to 50,000 feet as well?
Yeah, they're pretty high, like 19 kilometers or so. Hey, wait a second. No, I don't do that. I'm not into this.
What's he doing?
He's into kittens. Get it right.
There you go. Eat puppies. That's right. We eat things, man. Oh man, I was working all day on this.
Well, keep working on it. It'll be a good video.
Yeah.
Certificates 19 kilometers, I think, is the cruising altitude of the Concorde. So
I must admit, though, he does make one interesting point in that whole video. I mean, all the rest of it's just crap. But he does make one interesting point in that whole video about the direction of the motion of the shadow across the Earth or across the moon.
Yes, Micro, you're still presented.
But that part's kind of cool. But until you model it out, you can sit there and make whatever assumptions you want.
Yeah, I think we pretty much said that already earlier. That it's kind of counterintuitive the way it looks, but as soon as you model it, it's pretty clear.
It's very counterintuitive, actually. I mean, you would think that it would go the opposite way, but it doesn't. Hold on a second. Let me. This is West 1.
Sly, it's not counterintuitive. You're just back to west to east, east to west again.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that.
Can we continue?
Sure.
Okay, so Hellsoy, what the heck did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Actually, that makes the video way less disturbing.
Oh, okay, I'm continuing.
And the sun is already starting to brighten the sky as it sets in the west.
No, it's not.
How in the hell can the shadow be on the top if the Earth is blocking it?
It's
Because
not on the
geometry.
top, for God's sakes. It's on
This
the
is
west
an
end of it.
east-west event, not north-south.
That's not
See there
north-south.
again. Again, he just
Yeah, he
tried to
really
say-
doesn't understand that.
Well, he
I'm
did a
fa-
whole long video one time about up and down on the Earth. You know
I'm
how,
fairly certain
how the
this-
South Pole
this-
is down. You know, sorry.
this one particular video, I have a memory of actually doing something with this one particular video, and I think it was with Threads. I'm not sure if we actually put it on a video or if it was in the Hangout, because we did something. I think it was with Reds. We did something to show that, you know, they got the orientation of the moon incorrectly.
Yes, that was
And
with
that-
Stiggy.
Oh,
was-
okay.
That was
Yeah.
Stiggy's complaint about Red's ISS transit. And I was sitting there just calling him out about field rotation. Same thing here.
Yeah, but this particular actual video clip I've dealt with before. I just don't remember in regards to whom.
I think it had to do with what's his name, Russian Vids, because Russian Vids about a year and a half ago.
Oh,
Right.
right.
Because that's when I was working on it, and he brought this up about a year and a half. I never ended up completing the video because he blocked me, and I was just like, well, go screw yourself. But yeah. He, you know, the same guy who says that it doesn't work because, you know, maps are dumb.
Yeah.
So that's about how far that went.
Okay, continuing then.
Watch how the shadow keeps going down.
Yeah.
Yep.
It should be running away from the shadow. What do you mean
Wrong.
away from the shadow?
No, false.
Oh, he just said, "What you mean by away from the shadow?" Is he going to actually explain it? Do we want to
Hold on,
play that
Blue.
through?
Hold on, Blue just asked a question. What was your question, Blue?
Oh, I didn't have a question. I was just talking.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
He was trying to get him some Mr. Thrive and Survive dumbass.
It was still smarter than what Thrive and Survive said, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah, granted.
I mean, to be fair, if you teach a parrot to swear, that's more intelligent than him.
Yeah.
Hey, Micro.
Mhm.
Damn. Say damn. Say damn. Damn. There you go. There you go.
Puppy runs flat Earth.
God.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make Beeloo voice. I'm not going to do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, you will make it all day. I'm not sure why I'm doing leprechaun.
It's hilarious that there's a guy in the side chat who is called Tickle Me Beeloo.
Yeah, he actually made that avatar with me and Sly did the whole Globebusters was an idiot hangout.
Okay, outside, continue.
Well, I'll explain that in a second. See how it's going totally dark? How is that possible?
It's called
This
the
is
shadow.
why. This guy here,
I love this laugh. I love this fake ass laugh here.
he's the one near Illinois somewhere, Indiana. He actually starts to
Hey, Sean, is it actually you with the glued on mustache?
Mustache.
Nah, Sean's
Mustache.
got a nicer figure.
How is that pronounced? Isn't it mustache?
No, that wasn't what we were making fun of. It was reference to an internet thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. DVDA. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Mustache.
Oh, that's
Mustache.
mustache.
Okay, continuing.
explaining in the video. This is AIG astrophysicist eclipse heliocentric.
Stop.
Wait. AIG
Yeah,
astrophysicist.
This AIG, the answers in Genesis AIG. The guys who built a 100-meter long wooden boat that doesn't float
With steel supports.
with steel supports and with air conditioning and water systems.
Scientifically inaccurate dinosaurs.
Automated food systems with the delivery trucks that comes and supply food.
Electricity.
It's a boat that's supposed to hold animals, but that they aren't allowed to keep animals in, so they have a petting zoo next to it.
And the best part is it isn't even the full boat; it's a half boat.
Yeah, there's a building behind it.
It's literally it's a build. They have a building that's made to look like a boat that they've then built into a building that they haven't even bothered.
Oh man.
Okay.
God.
Moving
Not,
on.
this is going into one ass fucking genetic fallacy thing.
Heliocentrism, proof versus reality. That will be in the comment section below or in the description section.
Where he has
This
everybody
guy
blocked.
says,
Well, no, not the comment. The description.
Sean,
That's
still
okay. He
doesn't
doesn't
have
even
me
have the
blocked.
link there. He doesn't even have the link there.
He
Of course
announced, Sean, he announced he would block me, but he hasn't done so already.
Yeah, he didn't,
he will
he
now.
didn't announce he was going to block me. He just blocked me flat out for suggesting an experiment.
No, really?
No, he
He
wouldn't
blocked me
deny
a
doing
lot.
that. He
Blocked
did
me a long
science.
time ago when
In other news, water's wet. The sun is hot, and snakes makes for bad dildos.
Well,
no.
you can freeze them, you know.
That's so wrong.
I'm sure Rattlers makes for nice vibrators though, but you know.
Until it bites you.
Not talking from experience, but would try.
10 out of 10 would do again. Just wow.
Best part is, if you do get bitten, have an excuse for yelling at people to suck it. So you know, there's that.
Oh, on that note, suck it, Nathan.
If they're idiots and doesn't know how snake venom works, then yeah. Also, that seems like a long way to go to get a blowjob.
Well, you know.
Hey, they're still way less toxic than some girlfriends, so.
Well, ThriveAndSurvive does live in Arizona, and you know, one of the main symptoms of rattlesnake bites is cardiovascular failure, and he did just have a heart attack, so he might have just went that far.
You just implied that his girlfriend has a yeast infection that bad.
Did he?
I'm
I'm
just saying he might have let a rattlesnake bite his pecker just so he can try to get a blowjob.
Let's continue. This is derailing very fast.
The peanut butter trick does not work with rattlesnake.
I wonder if you combined it with a wandering spider just for the extra effect.
Just because.
Oh God. Okay, continuing before you know. Well, it's already demonetized.
Yeah. What?
It never was monetized. So.
Good choice. I was just gonna say you invited me and you planned on monetizing this. Don't do that.
Sean, there's I've said it before. I said it again. I never monetize my videos.
Well,
Never.
You can't. So.
Well, even if I could, I wouldn't.
Unsubbed, unfollowed, and demonetized.
All those people in principle.
Anyways, moving on.
This time continuing.
Is coming from underneath the earth. I mean the
underneath the earth.
Yeah, the sun is rising. He can't explain why the shadows on the top. So he says the light from the sun is going underneath the earth and then comes back up to the sun and hits the top.
Yep. Well,
what?
Underneath.
Wait, what? I think he confused the sun and the moon there.
No. What they're saying is that
what he's saying is let me screen share. What he's saying is that the moon is here. That's it.
Well,
because for him, if he's here, it's underneath the earth, quote unquote.
That's what the guy in the video that he's talking about said. But if you actually listen to what ThriveAndSurvive said, that was like he basically said that the light was going to the sun. Which no.
I caught what he meant, but I caught the fact that he doesn't understand what he's looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to play the ultimate insult clip right about now because of that one sentence, but okay. Playing on.
Craziness. Anything to keep your cognitive dissonance going. Look how bright it's getting there, and the moon's still up.
Oh.
Wait,
yeah, I mean that's what you're expecting during a full moon.
Wait, does you think the moon has to be on the opposite side of the Earth? Is this Minecraft?
Now, what it is, it's another flat earther who's mistaking twilight for sunrise. Gee, do you marble much?
Wait, does it mean if he goes up here, in more northern latitudes, that he gets confused because in the summer the sun technically never sets astronomically?
Well, Micro, I would like to see him get confused when he's doing the same thing on the southern hemisphere.
It's 10 o'clock here, and there's still blue skies outside.
Same here.
He as well, yeah.
Well, but the thing is, technically, you never get true like astronomical sunset in the winter month. Sorry, the summer month here.
No, yeah, it never actually gets dark. It's
Which
already
always makes me wonder exactly what Muslims are supposed to do.
Oh, I actually stop. I know this. I know this.
Yeah,
I have some colleagues
actually
who I
transit
asked.
to a set time.
Yeah. So basically, there's a fail-safe in the rules that says if you happen to live north of the Arctic Circle in northern hemisphere or south.
Well, not the Arctic Circle. I'm not north of the Arctic Circle, but the sun never technically sets here during the summer because I'm still that northern.
Yep.
You're northern.
I said that northern. I know you. You might as well be living with fucking Santa.
What's your latitude, Halsoy?
No, it's not that northern either. It's only
Too
61
much.
degrees.
61. I'm at 49. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what I'm at. Something 50.
Scheiß Bayern.
Erstens, ich bin Franke. Zweitens, fick dich.
Du bist in Bayern.
Ich weiß, ich bin in Bayern und das ist scheiße.
Yeah.
I understood for like 3 words of that.
Scheiße was one of them, I'm sure.
Well, in Bayern.
Yeah, so
I mainly understood Bayern because, well, one, it's a medical company. Well, not a medical
no, that's
company.
Bayer.
Yeah. Well, but it has to do with that. And secondly, because in Danish, one of the like slang words for a beer is a bayer. Because we had it at one point in our history.
It's the same here.
In our history, like 30 years ago or something like that, a lot of the beers we got came from Bayern. So that sort of become a weird slang term for beer.
It's the same here.
I want to see this model he makes.
Can I find Bayer? Let's see. Same thing.
Yeah. Giv mig en stik med en bajer.
Okay, let's continue.
That sounds like a drunk.
Well, I am drunk and that's Danish.
Okay, that works.
But when you see this, here it is. He's explaining here how the shadow was going under the Earth and then back up to the moon.
Wait, now it's the shadow.
Can't get rid of.
I don't even.
I like that he like says that. Oh, here he is explaining it, but he won't let us hear the explanation. Because
that would
I
be
guess
wrong.
that wouldn't. If he did that, then his bullshit would be obvious that it's bullshit.
Well, that and he's a fear to the copyright strike.
I don't know. This video has been abused by so many
he's told.
flat earthers, so
That's where he's explaining it. It's an 8 minutes 40 seconds into the video. If you
the
want to see
video you
that.
didn't link.
Alrighty, I'll end it here. I want to make it short, but it's so simple. So simple. There's no way what they tell us and with what we actually observe and produce what you see on the screen in this video. You cannot have it this way. You cannot have it on the top.
Wait, hang on a second. I think I'm onto what he's conflating here. He thinks that the moon is always supposed to go, like in this image, it's supposed to go. So here, let me take this back. Let's clear that. I think he thinks that the moon always orbits like this.
Yeah.
Probably.
So the shadow should always come from this end. I don't know.
Wait, I just realized there's something very weird. Yeah.
About the polar orbit of the moon there.
Yeah.
Well, Halcyon just joined a polar orbit, but
I know,
since
but
the angle of the moon is tilted towards the Earth, that's not that unrealistic.
Yeah.
I mean, the angle is
I
exaggerated, but
I think
guess it's fine.
Alpha is literally right that it's like he thinks that it's supposed to be in a polar orbit.
I don't. Well,
it
seems to me anyway that that's kind of like what he's actually getting at, because the shadow is coming in from the wrong side in quotation marks.
Yeah,
he keeps comparing this slide as an actual depiction.
well, as we all know, and Sly has demonstrated multiple times, the moon is orbiting in the same direction as the Earth is rotating.
Jeez, it's almost as if there's conservation of angular momentum is a thing.
You want me to explain the bottom up? Can I show it? Can I show it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can show it. I'm gonna screen share you. You've decided.
Ooh, that looks all
okay. First of all, this is the sun to scale. Light coming from the sun is the green light.
I'm blind.
It's CGI.
And then
that is
this is some Tron shit.
So now, here's the Earth looking down from the north, from above the North Pole. Okay.
Oh God, that's messing with my eyes.
I'll bet.
Mine too.
Don't worry, man. It's all part of the indoctrination, dude. It goes away after time. The okay, I put a whole bunch of cameras right here on the equator. One looking east zoomed in, one looking straight up, one looking west zoomed in. Okay. As we all know,
one looking straight down.
Yeah. As we all know, the Earth rotates when looking down from above the North Pole. It rotates in a counterclockwise direction.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what we also know is that the moon, when looking down at the Earth from over the North Pole, it also rotates in a counterclockwise direction.
Yep.
It rotates the Earth 27.3 times. It takes
rotation of the Earth.
Yeah, it takes 27.3 rotations of the Earth for the moon to go around the Earth. Okay.
The shadow goes from west to east, not east to west.
Okay. What you're seeing right here is you're seeing a green line coming all the way from the sun and a red line beyond the Earth in the shadow. These lines right here are the extents of the shadow being cast by the Earth. Okay. Now, simply put, prior to the actual eclipse taking off, the moon enters into the shadow. When you are standing here, this is set up as if on the equator. When you're standing here, you are starting to see the shadow come down from the top of your view of the moon.
Yeah.
Obviously,
same thing we had explained before.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not the same as being the top of the moon. Obviously, it's coming in from the west side of the moon. And then as we go up, this blue line right here is the horizon. Now this is the perfect horizon to that. Actually, we would be able to see down a little bit further. And as we're going up, obviously, like I said, the shadow starts on what would be your visible top of the moon. Then it goes into the moon, and then it would, if you are back here a little bit further, depends on when, you would see the shadow then disappear, moving towards what would be your view's bottom of the moon. And just to show this, actually in it, cameras, West 1.
Sounds like a band.
Kind of does, yeah. Okay, now here's the moon. This is in forward time, stepping forward as the moon goes down. Now, I think in this frame you can actually still see it. Okay, no, I need to use the other camera. Hold on. The actual west camera. The actual west camera. Now, I need to back it up a little bit. The moon needs to be a little bit higher. Okay. You see that it is actually going down towards the bottom.
Oh.
Okay, now this is before I've refined any of this for as far as appearance goes. Now this is going backwards in time. You see the shadow going up.
Yeah.
Okay, but actually forwards in time as the moon goes down. Now there's barely anything left of it here. Shadow moving downwards. And then
Yeah,
I think
because
at
we
this
don't
point,
when you when you stand on a circle, like your I'm gonna use a word here. Your perspective shifts with the with the finger standing on when it's like the Earth.
right.
Yeah, you don't tilt your head so that it's all top of it is always pointing north.
Right. And okay, so like I said, here's moving forward in time. There's full. Then there is shadow. Shadow hasn't started yet. Still full. Sorry. And then here the shadow starts coming in from the top. And then once again coming down further. And this is all before the sun hits the horizon. The horizon is actually this green down here. Okay. Starting to look a lot like Los Alamos, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I think this is the last one in this particular frame. I want to stretch this time out so it actually goes a lot smoother. But and then I think at this point it's completely eclipsed.
Yep.
Yeah, it's completely eclipsed.
Well, it's a bit, yeah.
Well, no, that has to do with the distances that I use for the lights. It puts these little sparkles on shit, and it just bothers the fuck out of me. But yeah, now it's gone, just completely gone. And that's before it hits the horizon.
Can I just say that I love that it's the Utah teapot as the randoming logo icon?
But anyway.
That's completely off topic. I just love it.
Yeah, but this was, and then I also modeled this. This is the actual umbra and penumbra lines. You know, because umbra and penumbra are some kind of mystery to flat earthers. These are
it doesn't exist in real life.
Right. These are the actual per scale umbra and penumbra lines. How high? What do you call it? It would be about 3 moons length, or 3 moons height, for the well, actually width in this case. For the umbra of the sun, or the umbra of the earth. It's easy enough. And those lines go all the way out here to the full 93 million miles to top and bottom of the sun. To scale. And that whole bullshit about the size of the damn the size of the shadow, that's just so stupid. It's so ignorant. You know, I mean, they think that, you know, it's supposed to, because it's tiny, it's supposed to be tiny. And it's just crazy. So, anyway, that's enough for me.
I think,
Okay.
That's pretty awesome.
S shadow?
What's that?
Did you miss the S shadows?
Yeah, what was that? I heard that comment, you know, I'll model it out to you. It makes an S shadow. What's making an S shadow?
When you're looking at a light source shining on a round object from the side, the shadow is not, you know, straight. It's taking the shape of the curved surface.
Right, like this.
But when but when you're looking at a shadow in the same direction that the light's coming from, you know, the light's directly behind you, you're actually looking down the barrel, so to speak, at the target.
Okay.
The shadow, regardless of the shape of the object, is going to look normal. It's not going to warp.
It's not even good. If you're looking from the direction of the light, you're not even going to notice the shadow, because hold on, because this is what it would look like.
Not looking at the light is at your back.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And the target, if it's partially covered by the Earth, he says that the shadow should be S-shaped because it's landing on a curved surface, and that is wrong.
What fucking sense does that make?
Because in his demonstration, he's got the camera offset by like 40 degrees compared to the line from the shadow source or the light source and the shadowed object.
Huh?
Don't ask us.
It
Real quick, Sly.
At best, it would make a C shape.
Time to do a dirty render, Sly.
Okay, what do I gotta do?
Create a light source. Create a sphere or target.
Shit, I had the sun and a sphere target. Hold on. So I already got the sun. Whoa, I got the sun all the way out here. This is the light source heading inwards. Okay, and here's the Earth. Here, oh, excuse me, the sphere. Let me move the moon out of the way. Hold on.
Put the moon so it's halfway in the umbra and halfway out.
Halfway in the umbra and halfway out. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And then set a camera up about 40 degrees offset from the direct line.
Define offset.
To the side. Just like 40 degrees.
Drop or down.
Camera, target. So like that?
Yeah, that's fine. And then render out the moon with a light so we can see what it looks like from that camera. And the shadow will not be the shape of the Earth. It'll be curved.
Ah, damn it. Camera 1.
Lights.
Zoom. Hold on.
Sorry.
Let me zoom in a little bit here.
Hey, can you leave the eat me housework in the final product?
Okay. I don't see an S.
I wouldn't even be mad.
But it's still not a disc-shaped shadow, is what his argument is.
But it's not an S.
No.
Yeah, I know. He uses the S curve. I don't know why, but he's saying that the shadow isn't a disc when he does his demonstration, but his camera's offset from the actual line of the light source.
You know what S I think he's talking about? Hold on, this just hit me. Hold on. Watch this. Hold on. Time and date. I know what S he's talking about. I think he's going.
Scary that you understand how his mind works.
Well, no, it's the only S that would make any kind of represented sense, but at the same time, he's talking about a Mercator map Earth, Pac-Man Earth.
I see what.
Now you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
this is what he's talking about. S shape. That's what he's talking about. He's Pac-Man Earth.
For fuck's sake.
Oh God.
It cannot be this stupid.
I really hope you're not right.
It cannot be this stupid.
Yes, he's arguing for Pac-Man Earth. Because that's the only thing that would make any kind of... That's the only place where you see any kind of an S.
So he doesn't understand that this line represents a grand circle and therefore is straight, right?
Right, and I even put that in a video about the 2018 or 17 eclipse. Remember when I took this map off of here and I actually wrapped it around a sphere and everything all of a sudden made sense?
I think I just had a minor stroke.
I actually have a headache.
That is the S he's talking about.
Can we replace T and S with some T and A?
No, let's call him Mr. Q&A.
Because anything else is going to be a D or a C. It's going to look like this. Yeah, I know. D and C cup. I got you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, looking at it from this side here, see what I mean? The best you're going to get out of that is a D or a C. But he's actually the only thing that makes sense with an S is the day and night map on the Mercator map.
That's the only place where you're gonna get
an S shape.
Yeah.
I actually want to be like, I don't know. I do not want to ascribe him that level of stupid.
He is that level of stupid. Did you hear his cloud underlighting experiment?
That sounds horribly stupid.
That was, oh my God, that was the first video of his I ever saw. He says, you want to know how clouds are underlit from the sun? Hold a piece of aluminum foil above your eyesight outside by a street light. The reflection that you're seeing off of the ground, that you are seeing reflected in the reflective properties of the actual aluminum foil, that's how it lights up.
Wait. So
What?
Wait, so the ground.
What?
Wait, so the ground is like super reflective.
The ground lights up.
No. This is good, man. It's not the ground reflects. Light reflects off the ground and lights off the bottom. I've heard that one enough times. But you're actually seeing the reflection of the ground on the bottom side of the clouds.
So it's like double reflection?
No, it's like when you look up at the clouds, apparently it's like a mirror looking down at illuminated Earth.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's a double reflection.
And if you guys really want me to, I can even pull up that video.
No, don't do it. Actually, Sly, before we start something new, we have to continue watching.
Oh yeah, I'm
the
sorry.
rest of this travesty. So, Hellsoy, please do us a favor and continue.
You have a strange definition of favor.
Okay, so can I ask for about 27 seconds specifically where no one actually says anything?
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you cannot even show the
you're not
video.
screen sharing, Hellsoy.
I know, I will be.
Okay. So you get your 27 seconds starting now.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yep.
I had to.
Yes, you did.
Completely justified.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing.
And peer reviewed.
Cannot have it on the top. How is that possible?
Oh,
It's not. Not in their model. Absolutely impossible.
just
More
love
like
it.
not in the.
Now, in this
your
video, I do
version
know where it's
of
coming
our
from. This
model.
is from Sun and Moon Group United. Robert Forts, his photography here. I'm trying to get to the point where I want you to see it. Not only does he show this, with the shadow on the wrong side, but he'll also zoom around to the other side and show you where the sun is rising. Absolutely impossible for that
What
to
is
This
it
happen.
is
about
cool.
the sun?
Watch the sunrise.
So
Watch the sunrise.
look for that link as well. I'm not going to show the whole thing here.
Look for that
But you'll
sunrise.
end up seeing exactly where the sun
Wait,
rises.
what's Wait, this is like white
There's no way
window,
you get a-
white squares.
It was in a parking garage, man.
We couldn't see anything.
So where's the sun?
Top-down shadow. Cannot be explained. And the light is definitely not going underneath the earth and then bending back up
Nope.
to the
It's
moon.
not.
Stop. I think I saw the sun. No, wait, that's a bird. Okay.
Yeah, that was a bird.
What bird?
But wait, we can use that bird to measure the size of things.
The moon is 12 birds across.
Yeah. Bird.
Sorry, Housewife. Continue.
It's almost done though, so
Take care, guys. Bye.
Oh,
Oh, okay. That was quick.
Well, that's usually quick.
Wait, stop. Irony alert. What do you say to people who deny their own observations for the purpose of holding on to a lie?
Anthony Riley.
We say, hello, Mr.
Where is it?
MrThriveAndSurvive. How are you doing?
Yeah, I was about to mention Oakley, but whatever. They're all the same bunch, aren't they?
they all look the same to me.
That's why it's an Anthony Rokeley.
You asked them how they're doing after the heart attack.
That's not a heart attack. That's
Well, no,
seizure.
it was a reference to the fact that he had one.
Yeah, I know.
Just want to make clear, I wasn't making fun of him having a heart attack. I was making fun of him being stupid.
Well, we don't actually know how long his heart stopped, so maybe that affected his neurons.
No, not enough. He didn't get smarter.
And you kind of you have to be out for
Well,
a
I have no comment to make about somebody having a heart attack.
No, I mean neither. That's horrible, and
No.
I honestly hope that that it didn't have any damage, especially considering that he's already pretty brain damaged.
Like I
Okay.
said,
So now we've done one of the videos that I plan to address. Of three, actually.
oh damn, that wasn't it.
No.
No,
Okay.
no.
So
oh,
Mr. Thrive and Survive uploaded the second one
No,
2 days ago.
Well, I'm gonna go pee while you find it.
Okay, so
I'm gonna go get something to drink. I need this.
I haven't seen the second one, so that's new for me actually. Well, I've seen the first few seconds, and then I thought, no, I'm gonna do this live. So let me find the link. I'll send it to you, Hellsoy.
is the one about the moon?
Well, which one?
Is it the 11-minute one or the 24-minute one?
The 23.44-minute one.
Yes. Okay. I have the link.
That's not 0.44. That's minutes.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah.
Or seconds.
0.44. 23.44 minutes.
Why is it got to be 23, man?
So hell, sorry. Just to make sure.
23.4.
There we
Take
go.
away 90. He's 66.66.
Oh no! I love that argument. I was in it with somebody the other day, and I was like, "Why do you keep on saying that the Earth is 90 degrees around?" He couldn't answer me. He didn't understand what I was asking him.
Some people.
Is he pulling this up?
Hell, sorry?
Yep. It's up now.
Yeah, let's wait for Micro and Sean.
I'm here.
Can I get third? Actually, no.
Can I get a
was gonna
whoop,
say, can I get a what?
What?
Can I get a what? What? Dub dub.
Well, that was good.
Okay.
What the clip clubs?
I'm not even gonna ask, man.
Existence is pain for a Meeseeks?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Mr. Meeseeks, can you demonstrate to every flat earther that the Earth isn't actually flat?
Can do.
Ooh, can do.
I wonder how many Meeseeks that Meeseeks would have to spawn to do that.
Oh, billions.
Well, to be fair, you never actually said that you have to convince them. You just had to show them.
Oh, I know what he'll do. He'll summon an army of Mr. Meeseeks and build a rocket, strap everyone on it, and fly them all into space.
Actually, I doubt that this Meeseek copying process is perfect. So at some point, there's a chance that one of the Meeseeks will be a flat earther itself.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Red doesn't show his face. Maybe he isn't actually ugly. Maybe Red is actually a Meeseeks who is desperately trying to show.
Or maybe he's an NPC.
Oh, that.
Maybe. Are you telling us he's actually Google AI?
No, Google AI is way too smart for that.
To be Red.
to spend useless time, I think, is the point.
Ah, gotcha.
It's an AI. It can do multiple things at the same time.
Okay.
Wait, stop. So when they started or when they booted Red for the first time, did he say, "What is my purpose?" And the answer was, "You debunk flat earthers." And the answer was, "Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Okay, Sean. Sean is here, so Hellsoy, let's go.
Okay.
Wow, this is a boring video.
Excitement on YouTube.
That intro is shit.
Hey, everybody.
Wait a
This is
second.
May 31st, 2018, now just after midnight my time. Guys, this is going to take a little bit of explaining to do, but you are not going to want to miss this.
You're right on that one.
That nothing in this world could disprove the lunar landings any more than what I'm about to tell you, other than an admission from the government.
Wait, what? The lunar landings? That's the International Space Station.
Yeah, and he's showing a British flag and an ESA flag.
What the fuck?
So to give you an idea, the title of the actual video is NASA Moon Hoax, No Better Proof Exists, Smoking Gun. So this will be good.
Oh, God.
Government of fraud, and that is going to come eventually. What we're going to do here is go through a little bit painstakingly, give all the advantages to NASA as usual, and watch what happens here. You're going to see the impossibility, and I mean 100% impossibility, that we went to the moon. Now this time you get to see me show how I do my editing here, because we're going to do a little something here. We got the space shuttle now. Remember, the space shuttle was somewhere between
Where's the space shuttle?
400 miles away.
That's not the
And,
space shuttle.
No, that's the space station.
Yeah. It even says, okay, right here. I'm not sure if you can see it.
No.
But it says British astronaut answers questions from the space station. It's the title of the goddamn video.
This is awesome.
To do, as many of you are familiar with, the delays that we have with the space shuttle. A person will talk, there's a delay, and then in fact, sometimes they may even make a big deal of it. Don't forget, wait for them to finish because of the delay and things like that. They'll warn people that are asking astronauts.
Wait, has you never watched like the news when they have someone like from afar, like on the other side of the world they're doing an interview with? It's the exact same thing.
Or use I don't know, VoIP stuff like Skype, Discord, TeamSpeak, Mumble, Hangouts, where people talk over each other because delay.
Yeah, sometimes the lag is such. But doesn't he do online gaming at all?
Nope.
No.
They don't have a Bible online game yet.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, that's not true.
Really?
There is.
There's actually multiple games made specifically by religious.
Okay, I got it. I gotta show it now. I have to show it.
You may have to shift. Oh wait! No, I know what you're doing, but remember, Gio. First of all, you have to shift so the audience can actually see you. Secondly, he did say online.
Yeah, okay, but that's good anyway.
Anyways, yeah.
Please let it be Noah's Ark. Is it? Oh yeah. Best game of all time.
Oh, wait a second, the sound is horrible. I have to turn that down.
What the hell?
This is the best game of all time.
You know it. The guys who made Wolfenstein and Doom.
Yeah.
No, it's not from the same guys. They just bought the license for the engine.
Let me tell the story. So, they got very pissed. Nintendo wanted to censor Wolfenstein 3D, which it wasn't really that happy about. So, as a kind of big move towards Nintendo, they decided to give a company called Wisdom Tree, which makes horrible, shitty Bible-based games, give them the source code so they can make this abomination, and then publish it unlicensed by Nintendo. So
yeah, it's not actually a joke game.
No, this is an actual serious game.
Yep.
And apparently, the animals on the Ark consisted mainly of goats and sheep.
No, it's getting worse later.
I know, but
like a giraffe.
What the fuck?
And yes, I actually played through this.
And what you're doing is you're apparently shooting them with food.
Yeah, you have to feed them so that they fall asleep.
They fall asleep. I don't know. It's drug, I guess.
No, a slightly hilarious thing. Since this is using the same engine as Wolfenstein 3D, you can actually overlap the games. You can use the models from one game, plug them into the other. So
what the fuck?
Oh yeah, and occasionally you get weird bugs.
He will shoot animals.
Oh my god! And Bible study in the middle?
Yep.
Yes.
What the?
Also, because the original
looks like a Game Boy game.
Well, it's,
no, not Game Boy.
It's from like 1993. So
Blue, a couple of us are a little older than you. This was cutting edge back in the day, man.
Yeah, this is actually that age, because let's face it, they were working off of it.
Yeah.
Also, I know we've said it already, but it needs to be said again. This is not a parody game. This is not a joke. This is made 100% for cereal by people wanting to make a Bible game.
Also, fun fact, because in the original game, the enemies are obviously Nazis that have guns. So, they didn't change that part. So all the animals can attack you from like 20 meters away, but just like kicking into the air.
No, I think that's hitting, not kicking.
I have two questions. Actually, I have many, and each one gets sadder. What do you call it? First of all, when do you feed animals with a slingshot?
The fuck do I know?
When
You later get a
God
fully automatic
asked me
one.
to.
And second of all, in the biblical record of Noah's Ark, when did all the animals break out?
And when did they attack Noah for not feeding him?
Right.
Oh, look at the
Probably
3D
on
level
God.
stair graphic.
Look at him. Ah,
4-1. Finished.
hello,
And
Santa.
wait a minute. When did Noah have a slingshot?
The fuck do I know? And I don't care. It's hilarious anyway.
Was it Noah the Menace?
I mean, Christians already got pissed off because they showed Noah was a drunk in the movie. But
Okay.
I mean, a slingshot?
He needs the holy key now.
Oh, the way that I'm moving that bit weird is because this game doesn't support strafing. You can't move from left to right or the other way around.
Yeah.
So
No, this was on. This was an actual cartridge that was made without Nintendo's approval for the NES.
yes, it's the only game that was ever not licensed and published
That's
on
not
the NES.
true.
Are you sure?
Yes, Wisdom Tree made multiple Bible-based games for the NES, and none of them were approved. And to
They
get
also have a They also have a side scroller.
and to
which
get
is also Noah.
Yeah, and to get and in that one he has to collect the animals, and he can carry like a ridiculous amount of them. But to get around it, they made these weird cartridges. I think was they one of the ones where in order to get around the Nintendo's copyright anti-piracy system, they made it so that you could slot another game and on top of into the top of the cartridge, and it would use the licensing thing from that to make
I
the game
remember
work.
the adapter. Yeah, I remember the adapter.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't an adapter. You would literally take the cartridge from the game and put it into the NES, like the top loader. Put it in, and then the top of that cartridge would have like a slot to take a legitimate cartridge and put into, and it would use the license code from the legitimate cartridge to make the game work.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Oh man.
Well, if you're gonna watch more videos, I need to go buy more beer. So just continue without me. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. So I think enough of this. Let's continue with the video, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
I can get this dumbfounded mouth or look off my face and actually close my mouth now.
All right.
Oh my god. There
Okay.
just are no words.
Now we're dealing with 21st century technology.
What? Right?
Again,
Right?
Wait, did he just say 24th?
21st is what he meant. Give him that.
Yeah. Yeah.
a distance of only 200 to 400 miles. Let's give it the max, 400 miles.
That's not correct.
That's
Nope.
also not the max.
That's assuming it's stationary above command. It could technically be on the other side of the planet.
Well, let's assume it's a direct contact to a ground station. The maximum value would be like 3,000 kilometers or so.
Yeah. Why is it that flat earthers think that we can just kind of launch something into space and then just kind of park it?
Well, here's something else they don't understand. Doppler effect is a thing, even with radio.
Yeah.
They have to-
Ask the people who programmed Cassini.
They actually have to recompile any kind of transmission just to get it back into time.
I think
This
Because-
is why live broadcasting is a bitch. There's an actual sub-layer in
Yes.
live broadcast feeds that all equipment is synced to because of this.
Right, but the funny part is that older footage. I think I know where he's going to go with this. Everybody's been talking about the glitch in the what the hell is that damn layer called? Where everything basically that moves kind of goes rainbow, and what do you call it? But all the stationary objects, stay in perfect focus because they're not actually part of the compression.
Right,
But-
but that's not where he goes with this. I don't think he's
Right,
talking
but
about
the older footage was actually more was less tolerant of that. In other words, this is digital footage. This is digitally transmitted, whereas the older analog footage, from the actual space shuttle, not this. I think it's a space shuttle just because it's in space thing. That one would just kind of just fade in and out due to bad signal quality.
Yep.
Whereas the new digital stuff, it's a totally different animal. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And let's see what the delay is between the person speaking and his response. Now, when you see this play, you will hear it. This is her answer. In fact, I don't want to turn that up because I don't want to blast your ears. But I've started the timer. I've got a timer that starts here. As you can see, it goes up as he's ready to respond. So this person here is on Earth, some woman asking a question. And then as soon as he's done, or she's done asking the question, he will respond, and we're going to time how long it takes for the delay. Now, there's a little bit of a blip here. I don't know if you can make it out. Let me see if I can edit the audio. Let me move this up a little bit. The sound might be a little weird here, a little loud maybe. I don't know, but see this little blip right here? This indicates where he turns the microphone on. This is where he is he's done hearing the question. We're going to assume he immediately knows what to say and turns the microphone on to respond. So let's go ahead and listen to it once through here.
The physical challenges or the mental challenges, what have you found harder to cope with?
Do you know?
Now, he turned the microphone on at 3.7 seconds. I advise.
I just want to stop this right now just because I can kind of see where this is going. But very often, okay, this is also a thing in, like if you do online gaming, this is also a thing when you do stuff like combat comms in PvP. Often, unless it's super critical to respond immediately, you often wait for a certain time period to see if someone is actually finished speaking, and then you formulate your response, and then you respond. And the same thing happens if you talk to someone on something as simple as here in Hangouts or on Discord. Very often you'll hear, so sometimes, that pause I just built in there, that happens sometimes when people talk. You want to make sure that doesn't happen. You want to make sure they're absolutely done speaking.
Are you sure you're done yet?
Now let me hear his complaint. Let me hear what his complaint is.
Guys, a lot of you guys, when we're doing this timing stuff, to go back and watch it on YouTube at 1/4 speed. So you can see there's no cheating going on. We're going to go through this one more time here. I'm going to try to stop it as close as I can to 3.7 seconds. It's this little bleep right here. In fact, what I can do is this. And now it will only play during this time period here.
Thanks for the tutorial.
Watch up here.
Challenges. What have you found harder to cope with?
Okay, now I'm going to let it go a little bit beyond that this time so you can tell that's the microphone turning on. 3.7 seconds.
What are we supposed to be saying?
Hold on.
I might give him even a little bit more here. Just go right to the end of her voice. See how many seconds it is. In fact, we'll know here in a second.
Physical challenges or the mental challenges, what have you found harder to cope with?
Do you know?
So now the delay at the very giving them everything. 3.9 seconds. So 3.9 seconds. Now let me explain one other thing that's going to be very important here. You're going to see shortly in a diagram when she is talking, we're hearing that from Earth. So there should be no delay for us.
Yeah. Okay.
Stop.
So
No, not necessarily.
no. And also I can see where this is going. He's gonna argue that because this guy is pausing, that there's some huge delay in the signal, and he's gonna compare that to something like the moon missions or something happening in space where they respond more or less immediately, which he could have done as well. But you're on live TV, so you want to, you don't want to overtalk someone.
Well, there's not only that, but these people are like the public face of NASA. So they have to really formulate what they're going to. Well, ESA in this case, yes. but they have to formulate what their response is going to be from a PR standpoint. They can't just blurt out the first thing off the top of their head. They actually have to think what they're going to say. So
a very good a very good recent example is actually I'm fairly certain everyone knows who Jordan Peterson is at this point, like him or hate him. Yeah, so he does this. Like if you watch interviews with him, when he's been asked a question, he will often pause for several seconds, sitting right next to someone to make sure that what he's about to say doesn't fuck him over.
Exactly.
Regarding the PR department thing, not PR, it's PR. So during Apollo 10, there was a talk between two of the astronauts inside the capsule. Are you familiar with that?
The one where he's told to talk?
No.
Oh, okay.
So apparently it had something to do with, let's say, some human waste floating around in the capsule.
Okay.
Are you guys not familiar with this?
I'm familiar with that. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, so the two astronauts were a guy called Kernan and a girl called Stafford. Let me just share the dialogue between them. You see that? Okay. Since, you don't want this to happen during a live broadcast, it's reasonable to think for a few seconds before you say anything.
Yeah. That being said, that would make for good TV.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, yeah. Back then, not so much. I see many, many Bill Murphy jokes coming out of that.
All right, so let him roll with his complaint.
Even though, go watch Sky News or the BBC News replays of the 2016 election, and whenever they're speaking to a correspondent from New York over to London, there's a couple second delay. This is 21st century technology, and we have delays from New York to London. Anyway.
So now he's saying we should have faster than light telecommunications?
Maybe he's supposed to answer before he hears the question.
I'm sorry.
No. I think it's actually the opposite. I think he's saying that the answer is too fast.
All right, good.
But there's like a 3-second delay.
Yeah, but he's going to say that there's going to be less delay in the moon footage.
Oh, God.
I wanted to make that point first. All right, let's take a look at this. This is the next phase. Forget about the timer. It doesn't matter right here. The pictures are not going to match the sound down here. I'm going to leave you a link to a video that has all the Apollo 11 Day 1 audio on it. You can check it out if you want. This was more compressed. I didn't have to load a 1.5 to 2 hour video to make this. This just shows different pictures of different parts of the mission. But the audio is the actual audio as recorded from Apollo 11. You can match it up with the other one. What I'm trying to show you here is that for those who may not know, you're going to hear a series of beeps. In fact, let's just play it and then I'll explain it.
Roger, Apollo 11. Go ahead. Okay, we're pressing on with the procedure. And 11, Houston, we have a request for you.
Okay. Now, they had a system of beeps set up. See the signature here? Here's another one. You can tell where the beeps are going to be. The way they had it set up was there would be a beep. The person would speak. When they were finished speaking, it would beep again. This was supposed to be a signal, I believe, if I remember correctly, so that because of the supposed delay between the two, they wouldn't cross each other up. They would wait for the ending beep before they spoke.
That beep is a common thing on simple walkie-talkies.
That beep has has only to do with push to talk. Okay?
Yeah.
That is nothing more than a key signal.
It's basically a notification.
It's something that, so first of all, it's from walkie-talkies as far as I know, but it's also transferred into VoIP programs. So if you use something like TeamSpeak, Mumble, or Discord, that is actually on by default because it's to signify that someone's actually trying to speak.
what that really is, the primary purpose for that being used is to stop you from needing to say over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? That's what he's talking about? These beeps are some kind of vocal cues? God, that's stupid.
Yes, it is.
There's somebody who's never been out of his fucking basement.
Oh, Bo, who has been in the military, says that it's officially called a Roger beep.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wasn't he supposedly like the navigator on something?
He was the weatherman in the Navy, supposedly.
Right,
I call
so
bullshit on that.
So he's never used push-to-talk radio before.
I mean, we had actual communication practice and certification just being a medic. You needed to be able to transmit clear, concise messages.
Well, you have to be able to call in a Casovac.
Yes. So, and like it's one of the first things you learn. And well, one of the main mistakes a lot of people do is actually that they start to press the button, but they start to talk at the same instance they actually push the button. So the start of the sentence gets cut off. That's why you get taught to you press the button, you wait, and then you speak.
Yeah.
It's something most people actually have to learn. It's not something that comes naturally to most people.
I'm going to tell you that even right now, today, in telephones that are set up in, I'm just going to speak a little bit general here, in telephones that are set up in rooms where sensitive information could be discussed, even in an office, they have push-to-talk technology in place so that nobody can just sit there and monitor through the microphone what's being said. Okay, I mean there are offices I talk with them probably about 3-4 times a day. Okay, where it gets kind of annoying because some of the guys are not used to it, so they start talking, they don't realize they haven't pushed the button and all this. But it also has, and I'm talking about today, as in this past week. Okay, in this time and date, they have this beep technology, so you don't have to sit there and say the word over every time, just to let somebody know you're done with the transmission. That is so stupid for him to make a claim that that those are audio cues. And plus, if they were audio cues, why would you leave them in there? I mean,
yeah.
Oh God.
Oh well, let's see what else he has to say.
Yeah, go for it, dude. I'm sorry.
And of course, there's going to be a delay. We'll calculate what that delay should be between the Earth and the Moon and back again. But it starts with Houston.
But they're not on the moon. You literally said that this was on the first day, so they're not on the moon yet.
Yeah, I don't even.
It took them 4 days to get there, guys.
I'll repeat some of these things because they're important. Houston was on the Earth. They're transmitting to ABC, NBC, CBS, and the world here in the United States. And this audio recording should be instant from Houston, but a delay from space, just like the space station.
How can it be instant
No
from
difference.
anywhere?
So let's do it one more time. Houston starts, and then the astronauts reply, and then Houston comes back again.
Roger, Apollo 11. Go ahead. Okay, we're pressing on with the procedure. And 11, Houston, we have a request for you.
Now, what I want to point out is this area right here.
I see what he's complaining about.
Oh,
hold on. Play that back. Did he just say that Houston was, or the Houston talked first, then it was the Apollo, and then Houston interrupted?
No. So okay. So his complaint is if I'm gonna get out my drawing tool here.
Play that back because if he's actually listening to the Earth recording, he is correct. There would be no delay from Houston talking to the Apollo as far as on the recording side.
Oh yeah, because obviously we're seeing it from the Houston perspective.
There would be a delay coming back from the moon, but then Houston interrupts. It starts out Houston, Apollo, Houston. He's got no complaint here.
No, here's the thing. This is a complaint. So the yellow is Houston speaking. The blue is the pause. This is when the audio is getting transmitted to the mission, and then them receiving it and sending back. Then the astronauts start speaking, and Houston starts talking immediately. And that is simply because we're listening to it from Houston's point of view.
That's what I just fucking said.
Yes.
There is no complaint here. This is
No.
recorded from Earth.
It's him misunderstanding how recording works.
Wait, does he think that that it records that it has to go to the astronauts and back before it's recorded?
Yeah, he thinks that this blue here should be here as well.
No,
it's on Earth. It's
yes,
you can see the fucking delay from the time that Houston stops talking till the time that the astronauts start talking. That little gap where the first set of blue is, and there will be no delay when Houston starts talking after the astronauts stop because this is recorded on Earth. He's got no fucking complaint.
No, but he would. It sounds to me like he's expecting there to be a pause on the second blue, but there shouldn't be.
So in his mind, there's like a recording station in the middle between them. That's what he's suggesting.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Richard! Jesus Christ!
Can I interject one thing here?
Yeah.
The actual conversation that he is referring to right now was between Michael Collins and Bruce McCandless, and it was 3 hours into the mission.
Oh, so there's almost no delay.
3 hours. Are they at this point already on the way to the moon, or are they still in Earth orbit?
Unless I'm mistaken, that would mean they're probably still in orbit.
Yeah, they're in high orbit.
Yeah, they haven't made the fight. At 3 hours, they would have made the maneuver to
because
go
back and play that audio. Play that audio again.
Okay, I'm going back. I think this is at this. No, hang on. There we go.
Well, what Apollo mission did you say this was?
11.
So how's the part of the mission called when you fire the rocket engines for a second time to get you to the moon? Lunar injection, right?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, play it. Yeah.
So let's do it one more time. Houston starts, and then the astronauts reply, and then Houston comes back again.
Roger, Apollo 11. Go ahead. Okay, we're pressing on with the procedure. And 11, Houston, we have a request for you.
Now, but I want to.
Now stop there. He goes on to say on the service module, secondary propellant fuel pressurization valve, blaza blaza techno. Okay, that's at 3 hours, 49 minutes, and 40 seconds into the mission from the time they came off the pad.
Yeah, so they haven't started the actual burn, the lunar transfer burn.
Now, to be fair, of course, back then they were using relay stations that went, to various places around the world.
I think it was Australia. At least that's where the actual landing was recorded from.
Well, but what I'm saying is that because of the radio signal bouncing off to various places around the world to actually get a line of sight on the Apollo capsule while they were going around the Earth, or the command module in this case. Yeah, but they're still inside of Earth orbit.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking close.
So what? And then, of course, I 100% support what Sean just said, and that is they're recording the stuff on the ground, so the delay that you're going to get is only the delay coming from with responses from the capsule, not from the people on the ground, because they're responding to the audio when it shows up.
Right. How hard is this to fucking understand?
Apparently very hard when you only have 2 working brain cells.
No, it's called building a fucking straw man. That's what he's good at.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he ever does. Straw man the fuck out of everything.
And by the way, Rich, all I did was look up the words that were spoken, added the words Apollo 11 transcript, and got this information.
Nice.
Go, gadget Google.
Mandela effect, man.
Go, gadget, go.
Point out is this area right here. Houston ends with a beep here, and then we've got a delay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this delay is roughly, if I can get it to point me right here, 1.2 seconds. We're going to find out it's about 1.25 seconds would be the delay with radio waves traveling at the speed of light unencumbered. One more time, then we'll leave this.
Roger, Apollo 11. Go ahead. Okay, we're pressing.
Okay, did you get the delay there? There was no beep at the beginning. Most of the time there is. That's one example where they just doesn't work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. All right. That's it for this part. Let's
It's called being
continue
on Vox. Voice operated transmit. VOX.
And yeah, calling it net right now, he's going to compare that delay to something else and say that the delays doesn't actually add up, therefore it's fake.
Well, he's already trying to say that he's already going to say that transmission was at the moon, and it's not. That's already been disproven.
Yeah, he's already said that.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, but from memory, I believe the actual delay sending a signal from Earth to the moon and back takes, is it somewhere between 12 and 14 seconds?
No,
it's not even that fast.
Or am I thinking of something else?
The moon is what? It's like
it's 1.3 light seconds away, so the round trip time is 2.5 light seconds.
I'm not sure what I'm confusing that number with then.
Venus?
No, of course. Holy shit! Yeah, of course. It's because it's 300 something. Yeah, no, I had a brain fart.
That's okay.
I had a complete brain fart.
See,
that's all right, man. You're trying to sort out stupidity, so it's all good.
The difference is you are willing to accept that you made a mistake.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that number. There's something about that number. I'm gonna have to find out what that number is. But whatever. Okay, continuing.
All right, now we need to do a little bit of math, and then we'll be all set.
Math? A flat earther?
How fast is the speed of light? Well, the speed of light is 186,000 miles per second.
Yes.
Okay, 186,000 miles per second. I don't think anybody on the flat Earth or the globe Earth will argue that fact.
Stop.
Your buddy Anthony will.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Remember, he says light doesn't travel, so there is no such thing as speed of light.
Wait, if light doesn't travel, how do we see things?
Do you know if he's actually ever tried to argue the infinite one-way speed of light?
No, he hasn't. He's not intelligent enough to figure that one out.
Okay. Because that would be amusing.
Fun. That one's funny.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let's see how he fucks this up.
Alice. So, we have nothing else to go by. Now, we're told the average distance to the moon is 232,000.
Not on the moon.
I'm going to go with 230,000 even.
Yeah, so I have the feeling that the rest of the entire video we can just skip because he's basing it off of a complete straw man.
Yes, he is.
He's also they weren't on the moon.
Yeah, that's
a straw man.
Actually, you know what? I think there was somebody did a map simulator or a tracking simulator of the Apollo missions by hour.
There's a dedicated web page for it I can give you that actually has the entire mission, every single voice recording, every image, every single video taken from the entire Apollo 11 mission.
No, but I mean, I saw an actual, it's like made in 3D, kind of a track thing that you could follow.
Oh, that's neat. That's super neat.
Because there's a webpage dedicated to that entire mission from pre-launch to actual touchdown back on Earth.
I just got to ask, Richard, is there anything that you do not strawman?
I'm not even sure it's a strawman at this point. I think he might just be that stupid.
No, yeah, I mean, he's got a 100% track record of strawmanning everything he tries to argue.
Is it technically a straw man if you think you're correct?
Yes, it is.
Well, since he actually cherry-picked out the one spot right before they talk about a translunar transfer, yeah, he is strawmanning this. There is no doubt.
Yeah, no, just to answer Hal's point, no, it's still a straw man, even if you think it's not a straw man.
Oh man,
he's building a false model and criticizing the results.
Yeah,
it is still a straw man.
Here's a pro tip though: if you're building a straw man, don't build it on a bonfire.
Well, I just say don't make a straw man out of your pants. Yeah.
Oh no, why?
Okay, let's see where this is going.
To take unencumbered radio, television, whatever, radio, audio transmission to go from Houston, Texas to the moon one way. Well,
wait, no, not one way, two way.
Yeah, all communication has to be two-way.
Yeah,
if you're
the
listening.
delay you see is the combination of the signal having to go from Houston when they stop talking to the astronaut, and then the astronaut starts talking, and then there's a second delay before it gets back and we start hearing them. So it's two-way.
Yeah, the only way to get it with only the single delay is if you have both recordings and you do them in post.
Yes, and they have done that actually.
Yeah, because no one wants to like that. It becomes a weird conversation. Otherwise,
Yeah. Imagine how bad that'll become once we have humans on Mars.
I mean, the people who sat at Houston, well, and the astronauts obviously, were trained to speak in this way where, like, you don't speak normally as we do here because otherwise you start interrupting each other.
Well, I really want to continue this on to see if he actually does do the straw man where he talks about the exact recording he just did and says the delay wasn't long enough. I want to see if he does that.
Yes, I think he's going there.
I'm actually looking forward to having phone sex with people on Mars. You know that whole like 13-minute delay or whatever.
Yeah, you can really think about what you're going to say.
It's like 14 minutes at closest approach.
Is it? I thought it was like 21
yes,
at closest
and
approach.
yes, the pun was intended.
Okay, so it makes a distance. It's 2.5 astronomical units. That's like.
Well, it depends on where in the orbit it is.
Yeah, approximately 25 minutes, maybe.
I think the lowest you can get is 21.
It's about 8 minutes per AU, if memory serves.
Yes, one AU is 8 light minutes, approximately.
Well, but remember, it's not between the sun and the Earth. The sun doesn't matter. It's between Mars and Earth.
Yes, so if Mars is on the opposite side of the sun as seen from Earth, the maximum distance is 2.5 AU, approximately.
Right, but I was talking about closest approach.
And closest approach, I think, is 21 minutes.
No, it must be much less.
It's like 14.
No, yeah, it's like 13, 14 minutes for the closest approach.
Oh, yeah. I have maybe 21 is the average.
Yeah, round trip 14 minutes sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. So just saying houseway, holding off for 14 minutes so you can like finish together. Yeah.
Fuck that! After the first sentence has been said, I'll be done. Like when they respond in 14 minutes,
will you have a chance to let off the key?
Well, alternatively, you can just have phone sex where the person just keeps talking.
Anyway,
like the person talks for like the entire 14 minutes, and you just respond.
I think
you just respond like you just respond for like the first like 30 seconds, and then just keep talking for that period, or like for like 13.5 minutes, so it match up in the end.
Calling it, this is going to be one of the first usage of quantum entanglement, if that actually ever pans out to be able to transfer information. It's going to be quantum entangled interactive sex toys.
I hate to break it to you, but like you can't. Well, you can transfer information with quantum entanglement, but it can't be faster than light.
Boo.
Anyways,
boo with your science.
Yeah. Okay, wait. We were slightly corrected in the side chat. The closest approach from Earth to Mars, the closest distance is 54.6 million kilometers. And I've just plugged this with the calculator. It leads to a round trip delay of 6 minutes.
Wow.
Where am I getting 21 from?
Far side, maybe?
Maybe that's the average.
I think that's the average, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
We have to do is take 230,000 miles and divide it by 186,000 miles.
Guys,
and the answer is how many seconds? So it's almost 1.25 seconds, but 1.23 seconds.
Yes.
All right. That's with
I
no other
1.39
wires.
seconds is the average distance to the moon.
Well, let's see if he gets it right and does it actually multiplies it by 2.
So with a delay, no transmission stations, not going from the U.S. to Australia, which everybody wants to defend how we did it with the satellites and different things like that. This is a direct.
Okay.
There were no satellites.
So, okay, just pointing out the diameter of the Earth is very, very tiny compared to the actual distance to the moon.
Yes.
So it wouldn't actually matter if one side of the Earth got the signal or the other did. For this purpose, it wouldn't actually matter.
Beaming from the Earth directly to the moon, unencumbered. 1.23 seconds.
To the moon.
So it would also be from the moon to the Earth if it was directed right from the moon straight to Houston, Texas, to our television sets. No encumbrances whatsoever. Again, I'm giving everything to them.
This part wasn't filmed.
Also, it wasn't on the moon. As
Also the
eagerly
actual,
said.
on the thing they filmed on the moon, that wasn't sent directly to Houston, because at that point the moon was like, Houston wasn't pointing at the moon. The signal actually had to go to Australia.
Wasn't it technically New Zealand?
No, it was in Australia, and they didn't have the equipment to film, to convert the signal properly.
So it was refilmed, basically.
Yeah, it was real film. Like, they just did the old school YouTube thing and just pointed the camera at the screen.
Holy shit, that's hilarious.
Well, that's the chief complaint about a lot of the old NASA footage, is that the footage itself was not actually fed to the news organizations and the people that were actually
not live.
No,
it was recorded.
It was recorded off of the screen, which was displaying it live.
Well, it was also recorded like on a tape at site with in proper quality. But of course, that tape has since been deleted because it was filmed over with test footage.
Yeah,
that's right. The first the clear crystal images of humans landing on another celestial body was filmed over.
Do you know by any chance with what it was filmed over?
Some test footage. It's never clear because no one found out.
So
probably some
cricket
or something away.
Well, I'm going to say this for all the people who would listen to this thing here and say, "Oh, it's a big cover up" and stuff like that. You have never worked for the government.
No.
Yeah.
To find out that the first steps on the moon, anything that could be recorded over with something else and stuff like that, if you don't find that absolutely fucking hilarious,
it's just
I mean, then you're a moron because you've never worked for the United States government ever.
And it's so fucking telling. One of so far, probably one of them the biggest accomplishments in human history was filmed over.
It's just bad, man. I'm sorry. Anyway, keep going.
3 seconds. So we multiply this times 2. It should be almost 2.5 seconds round trip.
Correct. To the
Earth
moon.
To the moon and back.
To the moon
now,
and back.
Remember I said Houston is here in the United States. This was recorded here.
No.
We will assume that's instant, no delay whatsoever. So let's divide this by 2 again.
What? Why? Oh my god.
The number was already on your goddamn fucking screen.
Wait a minute. Because it was recorded on Earth, we could just take half the trip away?
No, we can't.
What the?
I'm gonna rewind and re-listen.
Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Houston is here in the United States. This was recorded here. We will assume that's instant, no delay whatsoever. So let's divide this by 2 again.
No.
Once you can get done.
Also, you're allowed to use your 27 seconds again.
I'm allowed to use my 27 seconds again.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm gonna mute so you don't echo.
Oh my! Hang on a second.
It is definitely warranted.
God, that. Oh my God.
I wish there was a desert file clip we could play.
Houseway must be on the moon. That's why it's taking so long for that return response there.
It is.
But you can divide the lag by 2 because he is close.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Not only did he do an unnecessary calculation, he also assumed that the delay only worked one way because one of them was instant. Like, how do you end up with this?
Richard, once Houston lets off the key and hears that beep, it's going to take that beep 1.25 seconds to get to the moon. At that point, Apollo can begin responding, and it's going to take 1.25 seconds for that response to come back.
If he responds instantaneously.
Yeah,
if they respond immediately.
Which of course they would do because it's staged, so they know their lines.
So I just checked. Richard, I just checked on the mission profile of the Apollo missions. Actually, the orbit that the capsule has before doing the TLI is low Earth orbit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think we had said before that it's high orbit, but it isn't.
So Richard, just to explain this so you understand it, you dividing that 2.5 seconds by 2 was not needed or even remotely required. It's still going to take 2.5 seconds from the time that Houston stops talking until they're going to hear Apollo. If they were on the moon, which in the recording you use, they are not.
No, they're not.
I'm really hoping the next 30 seconds is him explaining that what he's talking about has nothing to do with what yeah, okay. I'm really hoping he's explaining why he does this.
It should take 1.23 seconds before we get a reply from the moon. If the very moment Houston is done speaking, no thought is required. It's an immediate feedback. Push the button. Here's your answer. 1.23 seconds. Absolute minimum. Absolute minimum by the physics of the speed of light.
I think you just confirmed our suspicions.
Again, Mr. Strawman.
Yes.
It takes 1.25 seconds for the signal to reach the moon. Any signal coming from the moon is going to take another 1.25 seconds. You, sir, are a fucking retard.
With an instantaneous response.
He did just confirm our suspicions, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I fucking
So bad.
handle this. Holy fuck.
I honestly don't know how to react to this.
I do. I'm doing it right now.
That's why we need to get through this. Please continue.
Oh, God.
And radio waves, television waves, they cannot travel faster than a speed of light. If anything, they can be encumbered and different things like that, travel through wires, resistance. We're not going to include any of that. 1.23 seconds. So if we hear Houston beep, hey, Neil, how you doing? Beep. And he immediately gets that right when we hear it, which of course he doesn't. It takes you 1.23 seconds, but we're going to say he gets it instantly.
But it's wrong.
When he hits the button instantly, beep, I'm doing great on the on the moon. That reply, the very beginning of that beep reply to us should take 1.23 seconds after the beep of Houston or after Houston is done speaking. Either way.
No.
Well, okay.
Bad boy.
No, okay. Technically, in this example, he said that they received it instantly, and we get a reply 1.23 seconds later.
They have
again, building strawman because that's not how it works.
No, but in this example, that's what he said. And if that was the case, then he would be correct. But that's not the case. So
No, we totally had the technology during the Apollo missions to make instant communication.
I'm just saying that Mr. MrThriveAndSurvive apparently thinks that transmissions coming from Earth are instantaneously everywhere in the universe, but it takes time for anybody to respond.
Yes. Which would of course suggest that all aliens everywhere know have seen everything. And to them, it's just like a constant blur of like just noise, radio noise coming from the Earth.
oh my god, we're going to be in so much shit then because every single planet in the universe are going to be like, we need to nuke these fuckers.
That's the Fermi paradox. All the other
they kill themselves.
To the aliens, all we are is the biggest jamming transmitter.
Yeah,
that's it.
Like not even that. Halso's right. We've driven all the alien civilizations insane with our constant instant radio noise. They have all committed suicide as a result. That's why we don't hear from them.
Well, I don't blame them, considering that they might have seen Meeting Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, I'm not even kidding. I was going to say I would have killed myself too if all my fucking white noise was Kim Kardashian.
Wait, does it still count as white noise?
Let's continue on with the stupid.
Oh, God.
Whether the beep goes off or not, you can't answer a question before it's asked. And they're trained not to talk over each other anyway because of the beep system. So 1.23 seconds. If we get any number higher than 1.23 seconds, that's okay. There might be a delay, or Neil Armstrong might have to think about his reply.
I find it hilarious that he had to think about saying that Neil Armstrong might have to think about it.
Well, now hold on.
I know that's not really like an argument. I just find it hilarious.
I have an interesting point to make there. Apparently, according to Rich, everything is scripted. So why would Neil have to think about anything?
Well, he wasn't a good actor.
Well,
I don't know.
But I mean, point. I mean, if everything's scripted, then ain't nobody have to think about nothing.
Freudian slip, dude. Freudian slip.
Something.
Australia, satellite part that's picking up the signal and transmitting it across the Pacific and then to the Atlantic and then to
satellite? No.
Oh God.
Not satellite. We didn't have communication satellites for that kind of thing at that point. The communications were picked up by stations on Earth. The US and NASA literally teamed up with other countries to say, hey, when we are on the other side of the Earth, could you point some radio antennas at them where the towards the sky, and then give us the signal?
And it was also encrypted. So anyway, and if you had an antenna, you could listen in on it.
Well, because there was no point in having it encrypted.
Nope.
It wasn't a military thing.
Let's continue to see where he goes.
Whatever way it goes, supposedly. 1.23. That's our magic number. We're going to get rid of all this 0.6 whatever. We don't care about that. 1.23. We're going to give everything in their favor. All right, let's just look at the diagram and make sure we got it correctly. Here's Houston with their antenna. They're transmitting directly to the moon, we're going to say. All right.
Which is weird considering the
astronaut on the moon. 232,000 miles. And remember, we said, how long does it take for that to go? 1.23 seconds. So once Houston transmits, 1.23 seconds it takes before it gets to Neil Armstrong. As soon as he starts speaking, we should not hear that for another 1.23 seconds once Houston finishes at the very earliest. By the laws of physics, we cannot hear it earlier, his response, than 1.23 seconds. Because
suddenly the laws of physics, are we have
important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's still citing the wrong number, so.
Hold on. Yeah, but he just strawmanned himself again because he says it takes 1.23 seconds to get to the moon, and then it's going to take 1.23 seconds to get to Earth. But we can ignore that first 1.23 seconds. The fuck? Come on, Rich.
Yeah.
You got to see that this is stupid.
But he literally just made the argument that we have, like, according to the laws of physics, you mean the thing that you routinely ignore and the claim is fake? Like,
not to mention that the actual Apollo 11 is like here.
Yeah, actually a lot closer than that. It's actually where the see where the arrow is crossing the black expanse between the Earth and this white part, the yellow arrow. Is probably a little bit closer than where that yellow and white meet at the TV part.
White meat, good.
It's a little bit. It's somewhere in between there.
So, 232,000 miles. Well, they're like, I don't know, a 20th of the distance. So
less,
at this point,
much less.
Yeah,
much less.
But
if they're at low Earth orbit, that's maybe 250 miles or so. So that's about 1/10%.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they're probably park in orbit, which is probably a bit higher. But
they were in LEO before they actually did the translunar burn.
Another 232,000 miles minimum. That's if it's going right into Houston and directly out to a person watching their television set.
But
So
why
here we
is the
go.
television
Here's
important?
Joe Public watching the spectacle.
Here's a tip. Here's a tip, Mr. Rich. The TV is not where they recorded the audio from.
No, exactly. This, like, they was sent out to the TVs, but like, no, the TV isn't important in this.
Yeah,
The audio was recorded at the same position where the signals were sent from. Therefore, there's no delay in one direction.
Oh God!
I wish we could delay one direction.
Yeah, by about 80 years.
Well, to clarify this, it sounds like there's no delay in one direction.
Oh man!
Well,
how can you not understand
there's no delay.
this?
There's no delay in response in one direction.
Yeah, because we're hearing it as if we were in Houston.
Right. How can he not understand this?
He does. He's building a strawman.
Yeah, he very much does. It's very clear that he does.
And I'd like to point out one other thing here. Judging from the transmission that he's using, and of course, as he says, it's coming from the moon. Somehow in that 3 hours and 49 minutes from pad to that transmission, that would mean that they made it to the moon traveling at a speed of over 63,000 miles an hour.
Way to go, Thrive and Survive.
That sounds a bit fast. I thought we were supposed to obey the laws of physics in this scenario.
The Saturn V rocket maxed out at 6,164 miles an hour. You're saying that they went over 10 times that speed.
What was New Horizons' takeoff speed? Because it was the fastest thing we ever launched.
I'm sure it was. I mean, Saturn by comparison is archaic now, but at the same time, Saturn made a max speed of 6,164. But he's talking about we made it to the Earth in how many hours was that?
To the moon.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we made it to the moon in 3 hours and 49 minutes, and probably landed.
Well, I'm gonna do an off the cuff memory thing. See if I'm close. Wasn't New Horizons clock or max speeded out at takeoff at like 23,000 miles an hour?
Let's see.
I think it was 15 kilometers per second.
Holy shit!
Talk about hauling ass.
Wait, was that takeoff speed or what is traveling now?
It launched with escape velocity. It was insane. It never did a single orbit of Earth.
Holy shit!
How fast did it
It's
go?
going faster now.
It's going faster now because of the gravity assist, but on takeoff, I think it was 23 miles an hour or 23,000 miles an hour.
Got it. New Horizons left Earth with the highest ever escape velocity reach of 16.21 kilometers per second.
Holy shit!
And what is that in miles per hour? Just
right about 10 miles. 10 miles per second, actually. So 36,000 miles per hour, isn't it?
What was the kilometers per second?
16.21.
16.21. That is
Pretty much.
36,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Well, I was off, but I was okay. So I was estimating low. Like I said, I was off the cuff trying to remember it.
But guess what? According to Rich, back in the 60s, Saturn V went twice as fast.
Wow.
That's so high. It doesn't even feel like it's a real number. Like
Yeah.
it feels like something that's made up in like a Donald Duck comic book. Like how much money Scrooge McDuck has.
Now, just for clarity, Rich, if that was the case with Saturn V going that fast, it would have reached Pluto in about 20 years.
Micro, do you
And
remember?
we would not have made it to the moon. We'd have overshot the moon by a long ways.
Micro, do you remember the conspiracy theorist from Germany who claimed that the Nazis flew to Pluto and back?
Yes. He's
Yes.
he's a delight. It's such a shame.
Don't remind me of that fucker. Holy.
Oh, he's a fucking delight.
I'm already on the verge of having a stroke.
Gio, what you need to do is you need to start not only making hangouts, but actually start making actual videos, like edited stuff. And you need to do a series on him.
Oh, I would love to if I had the time for it.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
For those interested, his name was Axel Stoll. AXEL space STOLL.
He's a gem.
Well, he was, but whatever.
No, he still is, because his words lives on. Holy shit.
Anyway, Elsoy.
Yeah, let's see where this is going.
And this has been right in front of us the whole time, guys. The whole time. Let's get into the proof.
You mean the straw
All
man?
right, the first time I play this, I'm just going to let it go through and then we'll go back and explain it. This apparently, if I remember correctly, this is where just after they landed.
I just want to make a note. He keeps saying, if I remember correctly, a lot in these videos instead of actually checking him when he's spacing them or stating them as fact.
It's called plausible deniability when people call him out on his bullshit.
Oh, so he's doing it on purpose.
And Neil Armstrong was taking a look at the lunar module and said it looked good. I believe that's what this is. So let's go ahead and take a listen. Notice that is Houston talking first. He says Apollo 11 Houston or whatever.
How dare they?
Here we go.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Go ahead.
LEM looks to be in pretty fine shape. About all we can see from here.
Okay.
There was another one I could have picked up. We're going to do two here, just two. You're going to pick up dozens of these if you look at these different video links I'm going to leave below. Dozens. Now, most of the time they do it right, but they slip up. Now, let's go back again. And remember, the first part is Houston speaking. This part right here. This is something we should hear immediately. It should be a 1.23 second delay before they even hear. When he's finished speaking here, it should still be 1.23 seconds before they even hear it up there. And then another 1.23 seconds before we get it back. Correct? But we're just going to count the 1.23 seconds. The bottom one is the time from when Houston started talking. The top one is when this starts out at 0.1 or when the counter starts, which is right here actually, because I took it to where Houston stopped speaking. Can you see that there? Here's the very last moment of Houston speaking, and I've lined that up right there. Okay. In fact, I'm just going to play that.
Wait a minute.
This is so
Stop. The LEM looks to be in pretty fine shape. At 3 hours and 48 minutes. That was when they were turning around to actually dock up with it to head out.
So it's still in low Earth orbit at that point.
Yep.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Can you scroll back to what he was saying to that recording that they played?
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Also, Cinnamon Control in the chat. I don't know if you mentioned it while I was away. Rightly points out that the number he had, the 1.236, doesn't round to 1.23. It rounds to 1.24. So you couldn't even get that right.
Yeah, well, simple math like that I can let slide. It's just a straw man that he's building around it. It's not gonna go over well with me.
They were totally on the moon, guys, not in low Earth orbit, because they were totally on the moon.
On the moon.
So go ahead and play it.
The first part is Houston speaking. This part right here. This is something we should hear immediately.
Yes.
It should be a 1.23 second delay before they even hear. When he's finished speaking here, it should still be 1.23 seconds before they even hear it up there.
If it was on the
moon. And then another 1.23 seconds before we get it back.
If they were on the moon.
Correct? But we're just going to count the 1.23 seconds. The bottom one is the time from when Houston started talking. The top one is when this starts out at 0.1, or when the counter starts, which is right here actually, because I took it to where Houston stopped speaking. Can you see that there?
Wait again, so we get the
very last moment of Houston speaking, and I've lined that up right there. Okay. In fact, I'm just going to play that part of it. This is so important.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Go ahead.
All right. 2.9 seconds.
Pause. He says back, Roger, LM looks to be in pretty fine shape from all what we can see from here.
I'll see if I can find the portion where.
Yeah, go ahead. Just play from there. Just play there. Just play from there.
Yeah, here.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Go ahead.
LM looks to be in pretty fine shape. About all we can see from here.
Bam. Okay. That was at 3 hours, 48 minutes, 35 seconds.
Again, Thrive and Survive. Low Earth orbit, not the fucking moon.
And to be honest, that was how long beyond the other quote that I had there? That was only like
a couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah, it's only a couple of minutes after that other one. Because that was at 40.
Because they're both 3 hours something in. So
yeah, I think this got divided up by tapes, so it's kind of a little bit screwy. But 3 hours, 48 minutes, 35 seconds. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me go back over to that other one.
I will say it again, like I've always stated, Thrive and Survive, Mr. Rich. Try building an argument that's not a straw man.
Right, here it is right here. If you look on my screen.
Let me share your screen.
Okay. Before we were talking about, where was the other quote? Well, the other quote was up here somewhere. And then 3 hours, 48 minutes. Houston, Apollo, how do you read? Apollo 11, this Houston, go ahead. And then Buzz Aldrin comes back with that really gruesome sounding Roger. It's like, Roger.
Wait, but didn't he say it was Neil Armstrong that said this?
No, that's Aldrin, man.
But,
but
he's been
Rich
saying
said
Neil
it was Neil.
Thrive and Survive claimed that it was Armstrong.
Screw back, man. See if he said it was Aldrin or Neil.
He said it was Neil.
I'm pretty sure he did, yeah.
Yep, he did.
Go back and explain it. This apparently, if I remember correctly, this is where just after they landed, and Neil Armstrong was taking a look at the lunar module and said it looked good. I believe that's
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong. Wait, stop. There's another thing. How can he look outside the window of the spacecraft and judge whether the lunar module is in good shape or not?
No, I think he was trying to say that once they were outside the craft.
Yeah.
Actually on the surface of the moon.
Okay, that's okay, got it.
So either Thrive and Survive didn't do his research, which is totally understandable, or he's outright lying.
That was Buzz Aldrin saying that to him. He's the lunar module pilot.
Since Mr. Thrive and Survive loves his model so much, I've made one for him.
Oh no.
To explain what he's getting wrong here.
He opened his mouth.
Gio, would you like to share me?
Yeah.
There we go. See? See, over here we have the Earth. Over here we have the fucking moon. And here, and while the distance to the moon and Earth are to scale, The arrows aren't, because fuck that. If you're not gonna make it to scale, I'm not either. And here we have low Earth orbit. You see, there's a difference in this distance and this distance. What a surprise.
Rich, very small, very far away.
Earth, low Earth orbit, the fucking moon.
All right, let's keep going.
You can stop checking me now.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was Thrive and Survive putting on his case. Like, what? He's actually admitting it?
So let's go ahead and take a listen. Notice that is Houston talking first. He says Apollo 11, Houston, or whatever.
Oh, hang on. We're further ahead. We're about
Apollo
here.
11, this is Houston. Go ahead.
Listen to Buzz. Roger.
2.9 seconds was the entire Houston thing. Now it should be 1.23 seconds
No.
before, again, Neil Armstrong hears it, and then another 1.23 before we get it back.
No.
And that's 1.23 seconds before we get back the beginning of what he's saying, not the whole message. So,
how is he making this so easy to debunk?
Go back here if you want and check it at slow speed. There's nothing wrong with the timers. Check it out.
Okay, let him play it. Let him play it.
Here we go.
I gotta hear Buzz's Roger.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Go ahead.
Roger.
Is he a fucking robot? Right, yeah.
I'm gonna use that.
That's it. I want that as a ringtone.
That's like fucking creepy, man.
Yeah.
Roger.
That's a fuck. You know what? That's a fucking SCP.
Roger. You've been reading too much creepypasta, Micro.
Yes, I have. Well, no, not too much creepypasta.
How so?
Specifically, too much SCPs.
How so? You need to move that straw man and resize it to like one of our little icons at the bottom on the left.
Oh, wait a second.
Roger.
Roger.
He almost sounds like one of the droids from Star Wars. Roger, Roger.
No. Put it next to like our icon so it looks like a panel member. He's a panel member now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a link in the side chat.
I'm not actually sharing the Hangout though. It's an XSplit capture.
Go left. Go left.
Well, but the thing is, the way you're
everybody's
they won't be able to see it.
Further left.
Everybody's is different.
To the left. No. Well, the thing is, the way you're sharing it, because he's presenting to everyone, no one can actually the chat can't see.
Well, hang on. I can fix this.
No, man, great. Oh no, he's dead.
Also, I've sent you a link in the side chat. I think that's actually more adequate than the strawman man.
Well, I don't know what happened to Houseway. He went black and white.
Yeah, apparently XSplit froze.
Oh no.
even XSplit can't handle the stupid.
Did you forget to install the oven mitt in the computer?
What will happen to Roger the Strawman? That's his name now. Roger the Strawman.
Let's see.
He's gonna be a fantastic children's cartoon.
Man, quit fucking with the picture.
I'm fixing this.
Sweet Jesus.
Roger.
Apparently Neil Armstrong smoked a lot.
Yeah, I guess the straw man is the biggest thing in the room right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's perfect.
XSplit is being needlessly laggy right now.
How much of the video is left?
About 6 minutes.
Okay,
so about 2 years.
Okay, I'm playing.
He starts speaking. Can you see down here? Right here. You know what I'm going to do? Let me edit the audio again. Turn it up in case you can't hear it.
Oh, cool. We get to hear it louder.
Roger.
And again, right here is where he begins talking. Here's the 0 point where Houston ended. Here's where we hear him respond. 0.8, not even 1 second. Not even 1 second.
It's almost as if he's not on
Armstrong
the moon.
begins.
He didn't misspeak.
Nope.
Oh my god. And
It's
yeah,
Aldrin, dumbass.
this would actually be a
Roger.
legit complaint if they were actually on the moon at this point in time, but they were not.
Roger.
Do we need to bring up the picture again?
Roger.
No micro. It's fine.
Moving on.
You know what? I'm
Play,
just
play.
Getting
Yeah.
that? He's responding faster than the speed of light would allow the signal to just go one way.
If he were on the moon, you would be correct, but
And
he's
here
not on the
beating
fucking
record
moon.
like
I
crazy
still
too.
love that the
But we're
flat
only-
earther trying to use the fucking laws of physics to argue against, like, the complete disconnect. Like, it's just so fucking stupid.
Next thing you know, he's going to say that rockets don't work because of gravity.
Moving on.
For one way. This is impossible. He's answering the question in point. We're hearing on Earth the answer in 0.8 seconds. We didn't get audio from the moon as far as them bringing it back and we spliced it together.
Because they're
This
not
is
on
how
the
it was
moon.
recorded as it was done live on U.S. television. Let's do it again.
From
In fact,
LEO.
I'm going to stop it just after him speaking. Okay, it's still below 1.23 seconds, but you'll notice he's responding.
Shit. Move on.
From
man.
LEO.
Here it comes.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Go ahead.
Here it comes. Oh,
Can't
he
be
cut it
done.
off.
They did not go to the moon. One more, guy.
Hey, he was accidentally correct right now. They hadn't gone to the moon.
Yes.
They were in LEO.
At the point that this was recorded, man had not landed on the moon.
No, they were at LEO. Congratulations, you were accidentally correct. Continuing.
That's the
One
best
more.
kind of.
Wait, that's actually worth an applause, isn't
By
it?
the way, the
No.
Like a slow, sarcastic one.
Uh-huh.
No. It has to be a gentleman clap, which is a snap.
Oh. Yeah.
What?
That's how a true gentleman claps. He snaps.
Yeah, okay. Moving on.
the last portion of the video, the first video link that's below, that if you want to check that out yourself, that's about the 19-minute 35-second mark to about the 19-minute 41 or 42-second mark in the video. This one starts at 20 minutes 20 seconds 20 minutes 23 seconds and goes to 20 minutes 24 seconds roughly. Now we're gonna, I've really blown this up so you can see this better. This right here is the signature of the beep. I don't know if this beep is Houston ending or the beginning of Apollo speaking. I am given the benefit of the doubt once again that
no, you're not.
You know, I'm giving them all the time, so I'm assuming that this is Houston's beep. Now, if I move this over this way, I'm going to be really cutting him down. That's if it's his beep. Anyway, let's listen to this, and then we'll go back and go slower again.
Over.
Yeah, we think it's within normal.
Okay, we have a beep. Like I said, Houston ends right here. This is his last word.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Do you want to repeat other words?
We think it's within normal.
Yeah. Well, that might have been something that's been said a lot.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I mean, we think it's within normal. That's probably not something that's normally said.
I can replay it because there are more than just one sentence.
Okay, well, I'm going to see how cool I am, but go ahead, man.
Anyway, let's listen to this, and then we'll go back and go slower again.
Over.
Yeah, we think it's within normal.
Okay.
Within normal tolerances.
We think it's.
I got it. Hold on a second here. I just got to get down to the part of the page.
Holy angry type.
Okay, that is at 3 hours 47 minutes. That's actually before the other one.
So lower Earth
What?
orbit. No.
That quote was actually before the one that he just did a second ago with the Raj.
So what is the I'm gonna try that again. What are they saying is within normal tolerance? Just out of curiosity.
Wait, stop! Everybody, stop! Everybody, stop! Since the title of this hangout is still called Mr. Thrive and Survive Double-Debunk featuring Team Skeptic, I now have to invite Team Skeptic.
Yay!
It's about time he showed up for something he was supposed to be featured in.
Okay, now what we have here is it is a discussion between, the person who actually said that is actually Neil Armstrong himself.
Mm-hmm.
He says, Houston, Apollo 11, we think these readings are within normal tolerances. We just wanted to get your concurrence before we press down any further with these decals, whatever that's about.
If they're talking about decals, they're probably talking about, oh God, it's their stupid star tracking thing. It's how they aligned everything.
That could be it. I don't know.
Oh, they're doing some preliminary things to make sure they do.
The repress package valve is now off, and no, that's Aldrin talking. What is he talking about?
It doesn't matter. You don't like. I was just.
Oh,
curious.
okay. Hold on. Now I see it. We're working on the pressurization. This is Neil Armstrong. We're working on the pressurization of the LM now, and working off the decal with the CSM and LM pressure equalization. Okay, they're just changing. They're changing decals to just to update information. That's all. So does he play it?
Probably not.
We don't know yet.
Okay.
I love that you're actually updating it also.
Well, new people arrive, so gotta update.
You know the guy that was supposed to be here since the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah, me.
Now there is another one that says we think it's within normal tolerances. Is also Neil Armstrong. Happens 1 minute or minute and a half later.
Oh wait, I didn't have the just out of curiosity, because he actually stutters. He says, "We think."
No, they don't really write down the stutters.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Okay, continuing then.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. We have a beep, like I said. Houston ends right here. This is his last word. Then we have a beep. And then we have the response. Now, if this is the beep from Apollo, the response happened in about 1.1 seconds. Well, let's find out. The response happened in 0.2 seconds.
The beep was from Houston, by the way.
So that would be this right here.
Because that's the site we're recording on.
Yeah, we think it's.
Let me give you a little bit longer. In fact, let me shrink
Okay,
it down.
that is actually the one that happened a minute and a half later because he says yes in the beginning of it.
Yeah, we think.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, how nice of you.
Start it again. Houston ends here. Or here. We're going to say this is Houston's beep because otherwise the response is 0.2 seconds. So this is the end for Houston. In fact, actually this should be here because that's the signal he can talk. It should take 1.23 seconds before he hears that beep.
Nope.
But again, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and then we'll see what it really is though. So let's play it.
Equalization, over.
Yep.
Yeah, we.
All right. He responds in
Why does it have to play that?
0.6 seconds.
Okay, command
Less than-
the CC or the Capcom capsule communicator. He was the one he was talking about. He was talking about something about the equalization over, and then he was actually talking with Buzz Aldrin, who said, "Yes, we think it's within normal tolerances." Bruce. At 3 hours and 49 minutes.
Thank you, Carl. I need to just say this, Carl in chat. I didn't even pay attention to this, but he said, "How sorry? Stop. Look the text when he's hovering over the audio." Okay.
Hold on.
Look what the clip is named.
Day one.
Holy shit! That's
Wait,
hilarious.
what? Oh,
I never
Apollo,
even considered watching at that, but Carl caught it. So
Apollo 11 mission audio day 1.
Hey, Gio, do you want to show my screen again?
With delight.
So on day 1, they would have been in low Earth orbit, not at the fucking moon.
Fucking retard, Richard.
this actually
Low Earth
means
orbit, the fucking moon.
not only is he wrong, he's actually lying at this point.
Yes.
See, I would actually do a Flat Earth Research Wins video over this, but he's not doing bad research. He's just outright lying.
Yes. I mean, he's invoking the laws of physics when it comes to communication, which also means he would have to abide by the laws of physics for normal modes of transportation, meaning at day 1, they wouldn't have left Earth's gravity well yet, no matter what's going on. Like, they would be close to the planet. Period.
So
you're lying.
According to Anthony Riley's definition of lying, you are intentionally deceiving people. You are lying. Thank you.
So again, yeah. Thank you, Carl Fürstenberg. I think that's right.
Fürstenberg.
Yeah.
Fürstenberg. Yeah. Okay. I don't do almost.
Which means like
right now.
That means something like wait.
I think we should start calling him Carl Fist and Rich right now, because he just fisted the hell out of him. Well done, Carl.
That was a good fisting.
Oh God.
No lube at all. Straight in there.
Let's see. I want to go back to.
Yeah,
back
I
on
was
track
happy
here.
calling. I was happy saying he's just building straw man and all this, but because Carl's catch, we can say that he is definitely intentionally lying.
Oh, he's just extremely dumb at trying to build a straw man. He might have missed that. He might just have. Oh, Apollo 11.
I doubt
I
it
don't buy
because since most of us in here have done or actively do video editing, you don't just miss the actual name of clips while you import and sort them in your.
But Halsoy, we all aren't MrThriveAndSurvive.
Fair point. Fair point.
I will plug my parody called Lie and Connive at this point.
Yep. as you should.
Since Gio is nice enough to give me mods, I'm going to actually post a link to that parody.
Go ahead.
Just so everybody can watch this later on.
Oh, God.
Yeah, on my very first Mr. Thrive and Survive video I did, that was the one where he was talking about the zigzag sun. And he was like, when I first saw this video, I couldn't help to think it was so brilliant. And I'm like, you think that fucking somebody who confused you and now you confused the audience, you thought it was brilliant. Like that's like a monkey saying, yeah, I think a light bulb's brilliant.
There you guys go. Watch that later after this video is over. I made that video how long ago?
Wow.
Good Lord. February 11th, 2016.
Wow.
Nice to see you're still living up to your name.
Okay, Halsoy, please continue. I want to get this over with.
Oh, I don't blame you.
And then we'll see what it really is, though. So let's play it.
Equalization, over.
Yeah, wait.
All right. He responds in 0.6 seconds. Less than half the time. The speed of light would have to be double.
If he was on the moon.
A little bit more than double what it is.
If it was on the moon.
Houston ends. Either way, I'm giving the benefit of that all the way. Let's just say we wait to the end of the beep. It should be 1.23 seconds before he hears it on the moon, and then another 1.23 seconds before we hear his response. If he started
on the moon. That's gonna be like a fucking
That's a meme at this point.
Okay.
Hashtag he wasn't there.
0.3 seconds. So we won't do that. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Hashtag Lunar
Wait
Lives
there.
Matter. Lunar Lives
Nothing to do
Matter.
there, huh? It's
You
0.9
weren't
seconds
there, man.
from the very last breath sound that Houston make, giving them every single thing.
Station, over.
Hashtag LEO.
0.9. Impossible. Absolutely 100% impossible.
Little interesting fact. Actually, two little interesting facts. Number one, we didn't land on the moon until almost exactly 99 hours later. 4.125 days later from those transmissions.
So Thrive and Survive is saying NASA can time travel now.
Yeah. And now here's another interesting thing. Remember how we were laughing a minute ago about what the government finds to be important? Okay. Now this is the major event transcript.
Can you share slide? Yeah, there we go.
Already on the way.
You got me?
Yep.
Okay, this is the major timeline. Now, I must say that at 3 hours and 40 minutes and stuff like that, we were actually post lunar injection. So that means we had already started to head towards the moon, but we were barely into it by minutes.
It's like in the beginning of it.
Yeah, by minutes. So your arrow is actually more correct than you probably anticipated.
Well, I've replaced the image with something else.
Now,
I have an image for this as well.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's all the transcripts, and this is NASA being, NASA, just publishing data. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, where in this did we land in the moon? Here's the funny part. It's this little entry right here. Okay, monumental achievement. First time mankind was ever on another celestial body. Okay, and it's just this line. Okay, so I mean, if this was anybody else, if this was somebody posting this shit on Facebook, this entry alone would be like fucking 4 pages long.
Oh my God! Just landed on another celestial body.
Right.
Oh my God!
To this, it's just another entry.
Yes, because that's how that's how scientific reports work.
Okay, that's all it was. Okay, it was okay, we did it, yay! And then the rest of the mission went on.
I mean, that's not to say that the people didn't celebrate the crap out of it, but in a scientific report, which is that's how you write it.
Right, and so it's just it's so fucking funny to listen to this stuff. But no, we were actually in getting ready to take off out of orbit. We'd already been around the Earth by one time, I think, by at this point. So anyway, continuing on. Just thought I'd point that out.
Okay.
So I've changed back to you.
No way. There is no proof better than this. You can't beat the speed of light with sound.
So since this is in his opinion his best proof that the moon landing is fake, can we now automatically disregard everything else he says about it?
I would assume so.
Yes! That saves us a lot of time.
I would really like to get him into a hangout at some point and just say, can you tell us what the file is that you use for your audio for your lunar transmission problems? And when he reads the whole title out, I was like, okay, and what day did they land on the moon? And if he actually says day 4, I'll say, okay, so your entire video is irrelevant, and see what he says.
So, Sean, I'll try to get him on, but I don't think he will. He says that, first of all, he's still recovering. And second of all, that there's a line of people waiting in line in front of me, so I don't think it will happen.
Oh, well, since he still hasn't responded to most of the people that asked for a debate,
he's backlogged.
Noticeably red.
Yeah, I believe Sly threw out an invitation at one point.
Yes, also that.
Yep.
Has he ever responded to that?
One as well.
No, I never saw any response to it. Yes, and remember the discussion that he was talking about before about Buzz Aldrin making comments. Actually, he said it was Armstrong making comments about the LEM and how it looked. And that was because 40 minutes before, almost to the minute, 40 minutes before, the maneuver to transposition and docking had occurred. Or was started, excuse me. So yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to restate something I said a while back when Thrive and Survive put out that debate challenge. He was literally flexing at a paper tiger. He's not going to debate anybody.
No, because he doesn't find any of us worthy to debate him.
That's what I was gonna say. In that video, he says, "Oh, I'll debate any NASA scientist." I mean, like, are you fucking kidding me? These guys are doing important shit with their lives. You are some white trash dude who can't fucking even have a coherent fucking thought that someone who has intelligence can understand, and you want them to stoop down there and go entertain your fucking whatever, you know what I'm saying, to tickle your pickle. To say, well, yeah, look, I got a NASA scientist on.
I think we can close this video out with Team Skeptic doing his trademark maxed out meter.
Right. You are a fucking idiot.
Thank you.
So, sorry, end it.
Okay, there's a minute 20 left.
Okay,
Not
just
worth it.
do it, bitch.
Waves, traveling through space, giving them every single thing you can give them. No wires to go through, no delay going from some NBC headquarters out to your television and different things like that, you know, retransmission. No delay. The space shuttle, they show 3 seconds or whatever it was delay, 3 to 4 seconds. And here, one way from the moon, they're telling us 0.7, 0.8. Actually, what it really is,
not from the moon,
at best, is 0.6 seconds. How can sound travel 232,000 miles?
Wait, stop. Sound?
You got that too? Sound, yes. Sound doesn't travel through space.
I was waiting for a comment there.
There are two mistakes. There are two mistakes. First of all, the speed of sound is depending on the medium. Obviously, in air, it's about 300 meters per second, so that would take forever.
In nothing, it's infinity.
Yes, that's the second point. You can't have sound waves in a vacuum because there's nothing to propagate that wave.
Oh, come on. You know. Okay, Buzz was kind of a hardcore dude, right? You know, Buzz was hanging out the window of the command module yelling this shit down to Houston, right?
Why do you think he said Roger?
Also, so there's a couple of mistakes in this entire video he's done that
only a couple?
No, he throughout the video. So he's kept referring to the ISS as the space shuttle.
Yep.
And he's kept referring to low Earth orbit as on the moon. So
as long as you just omit those couple minor details.
Well, he also said ESA was NASA.
Let's just say if low Earth orbit and being on the moon were the exact same thing, we would have some massive tidal wave problems right now.
Geo. It's not the moon. It's the fucking moon.
So we got 40 seconds left, and then I want to tack on another 27. You guys down for that?
Sounds fair. So we'll give Hellsoy 1.5 minutes.
Seconds. When it takes at the speed of light, 1.23 seconds. Case closed. Never went to the moon. Impossible. I love this one. I've had this one for a year, and to be honest, I was kind of not wanting to release it because I wanted to do the debates first. This is an ace in the hole, guys. Ace in the hole.
Thank you for that. Wait until after the debates.
Take care. Spread this everywhere. This is it.
Stop. Did he just say it's an ace hole?
No, it's an ace in the hole.
And mind you, he also did say he wanted to wait till after the debates for this. So he still wants to debate somebody.
No, he didn't.
He's really shooting himself in the foot. Any NASA scientist listens to the last two clips that we just heard will automatically go, this guy doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. It's wasting my time.
I just pulled up the transcripts on 4 different sites.
Simply by Googling them.
He's 3 hours. All those things that he just played were at 3 hours, within the 3 hour mark of takeoff.
Can you do me a favor, Sly, and send me the links later so I can put them in the video description?
Sure.
Neat. Doesn't have to be now. I'll let it render first, and then when everything's done.
I'll just send it to you in Hangout chat.
Okay. So, Hellsoy, now you have to end it.
This is the smoking gun. Take care.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That's about it.
The only ace in the hole that he had there was the one that he handed us to prove that he's either lying or did absolutely zero research on where those quotes were from.
I'm going for the zero research. I'm
going for outright lying.
You think?
Oh, I know.
Yes.
You don't pass up something that says day one in the file that you're using. I'm sorry. It's in the damn file name.
That's a pretty cohesive point, yeah.
Just like you don't download incest porn to your desktop.
Actually, I think I'm going to end this hangout relatively soon now because, first of all, it's after midnight over here.
But we still have another video.
I cannot do this anymore. Not today.
Gio, I want to apologize, man. I added hours instead of subtracting them, man. That is totally on me, bro. I'm so sorry.
Are you sure you're not a flat earther?
I think something I
am a fucking idiot.
Yes. I will agree with you this one time.
Okay.
I would like to.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you're going to end this, I would like to be sure to invite everybody that's on this panel to the live hangout when I do the Pete and Peter guys.
Oh my
because
God.
they've agreed to come on. Hey, do you know who they are, Sly?
Yeah, actually I do.
They've agreed to come on and discuss only 3 topics with me. One, that water is not made of hydrogen and oxygen.
Wait, what?
Yes.
No, repeat that.
They say that electrolysis is impossible with pure distilled water. So they say that water is an element of its own, not made from hydrogen and oxygen, and they have proof.
No.
Okay. Let them continue.
The second thing I told them I would discuss with them is they don't agree with Einstein's laws of relativity, neither special nor general relativity.
I do have to point out one thing there, Father Skeptic.
Yeah.
Pure distilled water that's just strictly H2O and nothing else at all, no impurities in it, cannot conduct electricity. So they are correct.
No, they're not correct about that.
Sean,
you can still do electrolysis on it.
You can do electrolysis with them. It's just much harder.
It requires 35 to 70,000 volts of electricity.
I'm just saying you're not going to do it out of your wall socket.
No. Agreed. But they are saying that
that's not
submarines
either.
With a proper transformer, you could actually up the voltage to 35,000.
Just got a few microwaves and you're golden.
I'm wondering, have you asked them about 18 oxygen NMR?
I have not asked them about anything. I just told them
they don't. 17 oxygen, not 18.
I told them they were
don't know what that means.
Probably.
I told them that they were stupid for putting out the dumbass information they were putting out, and they were like, "Well, how does a train shrink?" And I was like, what do you mean? How does a train shrink? What the fuck does that even mean? And I was like, "Are you talking about length contraction?" I was like, "Do you understand what the relative part of relativity means?" And then that's where that conversation started. And I said, "Come on to my show. I'll bring a panel of people that know what they're fucking talking about, and we'll discuss your points of view and your worldview, because they're flat earthers as well." So we're going to discuss those 3 things: relativity, H2O, and flat Earth. And all of you guys are welcome to come. Especially Micro, I had you in mind because of your biology experience. They claim that fish don't breathe air out of water. So
no. When is this? And when?
haven't. I'm setting it up right now, so I'll be sure to make sure Sean and Gio and everybody else who's not already.
It's so rare that I get to be in a hangout where I actually get to discuss biology for some reason. It's always physics and sometimes chemistry.
Because it always ends up being talking about nuts, man.
Yeah. And Sly, you're welcome to come too, man. I'd prefer to have you on there, especially since you know who these 2 idiots are.
Well, actually, I would absolutely love to, but I'm in kind of the same boat as Gio. I'm in Germany, man.
Well, they're all in the UK, so I think me and Sean are really going to be the only two that are put out by time.
Makes it even better.
I just thought it was really funny that when, if you look at what I'm putting up on the screen here, this was them debunking my horizon at eye level with using the Empire State Building, and their whole thing was that if they put the beach behind the Empire State Building, that somehow wherever they decide to put it, they can put it at eye level. And because the horizon that we were looking at is not actually the horizon that's there.
Shit, I can debunk that with one video.
Guys, we're gonna end the hangout now. It's getting fucking late.
Yeah.
So I would actually
What do
like
you mean
to.
late? It's still light outside. What the fuck are you talking about?
I would actually like to end it on an announcement. So next Saturday, for those who don't know yet, I will have a very special guest online.
The
Jaronism.
keyword being special.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Jaronism will come all over my channel. I mean, on my channel. So
In your channel?
yeah, I'll have a hangout with Jaronism next week. Next Saturday, 1800 UTC. So it's theoretically the same time as the one today. So that's
It's
pretty
gonna
much
be good.
it. Thank you everybody for watching this and have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.